how you do that.
Welcome to the capsule.
Hey, make some noise.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the capsule. We are here in the great city of Montreal.
Real city.
Real city.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. So, I'm here in Montreal. So I thought I had to check in with the resident podcaster of Montreal.
Oh, my days. Resident
The
podcaster.
resident king of the podcast.
My days.
You can't come to the city and not do a pod with the pod king.
Wow.
Am I speaking it up too much?
Hey, I'm gonna take all those compliments,
Take
but
it.
that's ooh, thank you.
Mr. J Style. If
Hey.
you are from Montreal, you probably know him. If you're from the UK and you don't know him, I would definitely recommend checking him out. I think the first time I saw you, we were saying is at a session in the old version of this studio, I guess.
Saint-Luc's, shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out Saint-Luc, shout out
On
Saint-Luc.
Saint-Luc's. We definitely want to talk about this space, but yeah. And I remember being like to Jen afterwards, "Who's that guy? He's fucking dope."
Oh, for real? Thank you.
Yeah, because you really have like the stuff that I like in dance, and you're fucking good at it. Yeah, so go and check out his videos and his Instagram and everything, and go and check out the podcasts, interludes
Interludes. I don't even know how to speak no more. I'm in the emotions
shook.
right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
all
choked
that
up.
love, kind of.
All in the fields.
I'm choked up.
Yeah, go and check out the podcasts. They are dope. Guys, if you go and check out the podcasts, don't come back to my podcast and then realize the lower production value that we have over here. Like his production value is through the roof. It looks like beautiful, which I really appreciate.
You're way more constant than me, my guy. Come on, man.
Hey.
Your podcast is the quality is dope too.
Oh,
I see
thank
the
you, bro.
visuals. Come on, man.
But yeah, these podcasts look gorgeous. The locations, everything's great. So it'd be a good listen. Some great dancers that have been on it. Cozy was on it. I know you had Preach, right?
Preach.
I don't know who else that I've
Dr.
watched.
We had Monster Pop.
Yeah, I
we had
watched
ATN too, but that's before we turned it into a podcast. When
Yeah,
it was
we
just
didn't do
like
the
a dance
podcast.
platform.
We got to do it one day.
I'm down.
Let's go, J
You
Style.
coming back
Let's
with a money
go.
suit?
A 100 for you, 100%.
Hey.
And speaking of that, we have Monsieur ATN to my right.
Hey,
How's it going?
I'm doing good actually.
OG of the Montreal scene.
I'm not OG.
We need confirmation.
I'd say he's a vet.
Like
He's
a
a
vet,
vet?
but retired kind of vet, no?
Middle G.
Yeah, middle
I
G.
mean, you can still get down, bro.
Middle
You're
G.
still one of my favorite dancers, bro. So
Bro, much
Oh,
respect.
wow.
And you heard that,
Come
bro?
on.
That's a lot of love from J Style, man.
Look at all
Great
the
fucking
flowers going on this flowers
Yes,
couch.
So
it's
many
like
flowers.
it's like a flower throwing podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shut up, ATN.
And in her usual seat, behind the
That's
camera on the buttons,
That's
we
right.
have Genevieve Lou,
That's right.
a resident of the capsule,
That's
and
right.
also a Montreal
Resident.
Middle G.
ex-resident.
Ex-resident.
Ex
Yeah.
middle G.
Ex-middle G.
I have a question for you.
Oh.
How does the Montreal scene see these guys? Like, what's their position in it? Like,
That's a funny question.
Wow, the new cats or the
I don't know. Like, where? Because I know, like, in the UK, I know a lot of the people, and I know kind of, these are the people that are brand new. These are the people that have been around. These are the people that were around and stay around, and the other people. You know what I mean? Like, where's their? I don't know. Because I just see them as like family. I don't see them as like in the scene.
I feel you. To me, their places like is sédimenté, comment tu sais? Like it's coulé dans le béton.
Isn't concrete.
Yeah, it's like
It's solid.
Cemented.
established.
Yeah,
Okay.
their position is cemented in the scene. You know, it's like ATN made a lot of noise, and like I said, he's still one of my favorite poppers, favorite dancers. Like he was doing his thing for real, winning Bust a Move, Chaos Unleashed,
who'd you beat in the finals?
Unleashed.
Chaos Unleashed is true. I beat Abnormal.
Went to France to represent Montreal.
And I got smoked by fucking Lee.
It
Could
be
you
like
believe
that.
that? What was his
Shout
name?
out to my homie.
Ricochet, right?
Yeah.
That piece of filth. That fucking guy.
How did it feel?
It felt.
You've never spoken on this publicly.
I was just too nervous. Just France got me nervous. You know, the France, like, it just got me nervous to be out of my country.
Mhm.
Did you know that Lee wasn't from France, or you thought he was from France?
I didn't think much of him, honestly.
You didn't know.
No, I didn't know anything about
Okay,
him. I
okay.
was just like, who's this guy? And I thought his level was like okay. I was
Yo,
just
that's smoke. That's all I'm gonna say. That's
Yeah,
smoke
yeah.
right there.
Could-
Ricochet, you gotta come back for
Yeah,
homie.
yeah.
Because you know that's his best friend.
it's his best
That's
friend.
your best
He's on-
friend? Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on the- but I know him. But like yeah, I like him. I like him. He's really nice. But it's dancing. I wasn't like, oh shit, he's gonna. But
Yeah, so you weren't like, oh, I need to like step up for this one. You just
but
kind of.
yeah, and my round was kind of shit. So I lost. Hey, fair play.
And then
And then what?
the next round.
Speaking to the mic, Etienne.
The next round,
The next round,
I lost. He beat Aki.
No, he lost to Aki.
He lost to Aki.
He
Who
beat
did he
Venom.
beat? Venom.
You
Just
beat Venom?
taking Montreal heads.
Yeah,
Or
he just basically beat 2 Montreal people
Is
and
he
then
still
lost.
a dancer? He still dances?
He still can dance. I don't think he dances active. Like he doesn't battle.
But he's a dope visual
Painter.
artist. Like
like
paints.
he did some of the sketches for Jack of all trades a while back.
Alive, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Wait, for which one?
I think I
was a
don't
while ago.
remember.
Was it the one where there was someone with a beret on the poster?
Yeah. Oh no, where there was a girl.
I'm not sure if it was a girl, but I know it
was a
There was
girl?
a dancer with a beret on
Maybe
the
we
poster.
can find
Yeah.
it somewhere.
Yeah.
I know that drawing.
But yeah, he's doing painting full time and
Nice.
this type of stuff. He's really good.
Nice.
But yeah, so we talk about. So I did a lot of noise. Jenny made a lot
Jenny
of noise.
made a lot of noise too. Yo,
Not
in the
so
popping
much.
scene as well.
No, I didn't.
She's making a face like this.
Jenny, I remember seeing you at competitions. Come on.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm most remembered for. The side entertainment.
Jen, don't lower yourself.
No,
you said
I'm
you
not-
make some
yeah.
noise.
No, but I just feel like in reality, in the battle scene, like in battles themselves, I never like did that well in battles, but I never did that well in competition setting. Like I'm just
Yeah, but
not a
it's-
competitive person.
But it's also not so much like your like what Jason said about like your position being cemented. It doesn't necessarily mean you won all the battles. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you're part of the community.
You're part
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the community.
Yeah.
You know,
The
you
point
made
is-
your mark in the community.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, with the shows that you did as well.
She
I
did that in
remember.
Montreal this year? She does that in
That
fucking
started
UK?
here.
Oh, that was the
Yeah.
okay.
Yo, and I used to always look for the person that was doing it. Every time I would hear it, I was like, "Who is making that sound?"
It's a legendary scream.
Yeah,
She
I'm
still
like,
does it in the UK
Yeah.
now.
Jen, why don't you go and give us one? Give us a crack.
What?
Where did this come from?
I don't know. My mind.
The mind of a
creativity.
genius.
Yeah. Oh, fucking genie. Yeah.
Okay, so before we continue, let's give a shout out to Sonlux. Can you tell me about this space that we're in? What is this space to the community? What happens here? You guys know. I don't know.
J-Style, you go, man.
My
'cause
days,
I
we're
don't
on
know
spot.
nothing.
Wow. So Espace Saint-Lux. Espace Saint-Lux is an NPO that does a lot of great things for the dance community. It's run by members of the dance community for members of the community. They host
Shout out to Fubu.
for you, by you, you know. They host daily sessions. Like they have hip hop sessions, dancehall sessions, house sessions. So you could come through to practice,
Like not classes, like open.
like
jams.
open sessions, you know. And they put specific members of the community in charge of those sessions. So the people that are in charge can run the session as they want to, you know. So you could host your own battle, you could host a practice session, but it's a space where dancers are welcome to come through, chill, heat up your lunch, practice, and yeah, just live and be part of the community. They also
That's
host
dope.
dance events, weekly pop-ups,
Workshops.
workshops, dance festivals.
So it's basically is it the house of the street dance community in Montreal right now? Would you say that?
That's a good way to say.
To
it.
be honest, I'd say yeah.
Is there any other like places like this? Do you have a lot of studios here? What's the?
Not
We
like this, I think.
No, that's the thing, because it's not a studio. You don't take dance classes here, you
Okay.
know.
It's more like a community space.
Exactly. But other spaces as such, there used to be the Centre Communautaire Côte des Neiges, Côte des Neiges Community.
Is that still
Center.
popping?
That's a good question. I haven't been in a minute.
So basically, it's a community center, like kind of more in the traditional sense that they have like a gym and all of
Here.
that.
No, the other place.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
other place. But they had some dance studios, and it was like some actually really, really good teachers that taught there.
Amazing.
But you know, it's like for a membership at that community center, it's like $60 for the year, and then you could just go to the
Oh, but that's
classes.
good.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. So it was super,
thought you were saying,
super
like, it's
cheap.
expensive.
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
was
Dope ass teachers.
really
Mhm.
good teachers. So that kind of became for a while like a hub in the dance.
Like a training spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And a class a place for
Yeah.
really good classes, but it was more like house whacking. They had some hip hop classes there, I think, for a
Popping
while.
also.
Popping. So it was kind of like they had classes, but it wasn't choreography classes. It was really classes
Like
on the
style
foundation.
classes.
Yeah.
Sick.
And whacking being like, because Canada used to be really big. I don't know if it still is. I'm sure it still is, but big in whacking, like the whacking world.
Yeah.
Like it was an important part of the whacking community, and it basically all happened at that studio.
Yeah. Like part of the,
Most
Black
of it.
Cat. Shout out
Yeah.
to Black
yeah.
Cat.
Shout out
Part
to Black
of
Cat.
the kind
the
of
chapter Canada.
that's right. You know that's right.
Yeah, you guys still have dinners like with the group. You guys
Yeah.
don't like even see each other. You guys have dinners every year.
Yeah, basically.
I find that funny.
What?
Just because they have a meeting every year with like their crew,
Yeah.
but like they basically don't like they don't chill with with each other that
I mean,
much.
they all got lives. I
But-
get it. She lives
but
at
you
the
mean like
other
a
side of the
reunion?
world.
Yeah, reunion.
No, but
that's
cute though.
amazing.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I laugh at that because I'm like, because I don't have it. I'm jealous.
Damn, they say the truth
Yeah.
then.
He's like, how stupid is it? And he just starts like one tear starts
Yeah.
coming out. It's so
No,
stupid.
it's because you guys find it nice. I still find it stupid.
Nah, it's amazing. I find it amazing.
You don't think that's cute?
It's amazing.
I wish my crew we did that.
I wish
Like
my
meet up
crew
once a
did that
year.
too.
That's
That
some
would be so
organized
much.
shit.
No,
that
but
at this stage in your career, y'all could still devote time to
Yeah.
meet once a year and eat and chill.
What a
That's-
Grinch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
true. It's nice.
What a hater rater.
Fuck you guys.
but no, I think that they still do stuff together throughout the year though, but it's just really rare that we're all there at the same time, because like I'm in the UK, Nani's in New York, Leah's in Mexico, like I think majority of the rest, but like even D Sirius for a while, he was like I think he's still doing that
traveling a
now.
lot.
He's agent de bord, like a flight
A
attendant.
flight attendant.
Stewart.
Yeah, he's Stuart.
His name is Stuart.
Preach is
Yeah,
like
little.
Preach is just doing like he's on
Preach
his
is
own.
out there being preach.
Yeah, so
Oh, fucking YouTube famous.
Yo.
yeah,
Jesus,
so I think
world famous.
it's actually been quite a few years that we've all actually been together, but there's always around Christmas time a little get together.
That's cute.
Yeah.
So you were saying about the other studio.
Yeah,
So
so
that's more of a like class taking place.
Yeah.
This is more
Yeah.
of like a community spot. Do you guys have a lot of other?
Spots like this, we used
Yeah.
to have, I mean, not used to, but it's still available. Shauna Roberts
oh yeah.
is just, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we speak about Shauna Roberts as much as we used to back in the days. I feel like back in the days, there used to be events at Shauna Roberts,
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
things
dance
happen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
competitions, practices, all of that. It was like a hub as well.
Yeah.
Um,
But it was a dance studio with classes, but
Okay.
she also had some
She
open
had-
sessions.
Yeah, a lot of open space.
But it was
Yeah.
more like a class taking.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be like, you know, because let's say there was classes, but let's say classes really start at like 6 or 7 p.m. But
Yeah,
so then
during the
for
day.
from 3 to 5 it would be open session.
And you
stuff
pay
like that.
$4 and you can have access the entire day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Mhm.
Damn. Because if you had to say like what your dance scene revolves around, is there one like? Would you say it's like jack of all trades, or would you say it's Son Lux, or like? Because I feel like in UK it's like the commercial scene revolves around pretty much the studios and the jobs, but like the studios is where everybody sees each other every time. Like whether or not you're booking a job, everybody's at the same classes and going to all these things.
Yeah.
And in the battle scene, it's like we used to have a lot more sessions and we used to have a lot more social jams, but they're kind of for the most part dead now. So we have the battles, and that's kind of where everyone, any like the consistent battles that everyone will go to and cypher there or train there, but there's not really, let's say, like an open session or this type of thing. It's like we can book a studio and like 5 of us go and hang out and train, but there's not really like a open session that everyone goes to regularly. Some pop up and then die and the next one pops up, but not
Consistent.
consistent ones. So do you guys like, would you guys say the dance scene here revolves around any type of events or any type of studios, or like where would you all, I don't know, see each other? Or
Me personally, like I don't like I'm less present, so you know I see people when I like a jack of all trades. It's a jack of all trades for me, but like because I'm not doing that much anymore. But I don't know about you, Jay, man. What do you think about that, dude?
I'd say, if I allow myself to say this, back in the days, it used to be Bust a Move. That would be like the event where like the entire dance community would congregate.
Yeah.
Then there was a time where there was like spots like Saint Luc's were kind of like lackluster, like you wouldn't find them like that. So now Saint Luc's is kind of the hub now, where like most dancers pass by to train, to just to be part of the community. I don't think it revolves around one event, you know?
But so if somebody was in town for like 2 weeks or something, and they're like, I want to see the Montreal dance scene. I got like 1 day free. Like, it's like come through Sonics.
Yeah, come through Sonics.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're sure to like.
So there's gonna be something.
Yeah, there's gonna be something.
Right.
There's gonna be a session or something like that, you know.
Okay.
So
cool.
for sure, yeah.
Yo, Jay, I got a question for you.
Wagwan.
You traveled a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Did you ever go to Asia?
I have never been to Asia.
Okay, but you've been to Europe.
I've been to
You've
Europe.
been to the States.
I've been to the States.
What do you think like about the Montreal's, let's say, like dancers' dance levels? Like the dance level in general in Montreal. Where would you put it? Like, what do you think about
Yeah, we
it?
kind of spoke about this in the unreleased.
Yeah.
Ooh, was it a taboo subject?
It's not
I don't
taboo.
think so,
I
not
think we're
really.
pretty open.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
But
curious
we were
what you...
talking also more about the difference in
Approaches.
approaches and like attitude. Like
Mm.
I guess like say Europe being really like battle focused and
Yep.
not so much like we had a whole topic about this on the pod a couple of weeks ago, so go and check it out. But about European dancing maybe being less focused around the session and the sessions being maybe a bit more dead but more about the battles. And Jen was saying she feels like maybe Canada, North America is a bit more about session and community and not so battle focused. So I think maybe the reason I say that is because I feel like that ties into the level, because it's like okay, what's the level of you in a battle, or what's the level of you
In a cypher.
you know what I mean? Because it's like somebody could be whacking ciphers but they might win all the battles, but they just, you know what I mean? It's really depends on what you put the focus on.
I would agree with Jenny on that. Where Montreal is more focused on sessions than battle. We don't have that much of a big battle culture compared to Europe. Like we have a few battles here and there. I mean, no, we do have a lot of battles, but it's not like heavy like when you go to Europe. Like in Europe, I feel like you could find a battle every weekend, you know? Not out here. Out here, you'll find more sessions, more gatherings, get-togethers than actual competitions. But we still love to battle. We still love to kill people. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, like what I was saying, like for a town or a city that has less battles, you still have some of the best dancers in the world come from here.
But I think it's less now. I feel like before we had more. Don't y'all feel?
Before there used to be more people that really went out there and killed it. Like who's killing it out there now?
That's a good
Out
question.
there? Woo!
Green. Still.
Yeah.
You know what a fantasy battle would be, like him versus like Storyboard P. Cause he's like, I think he's so high level,
Okay.
but he's really, he's in a like, he has a style, like, you know, he has a style that he belongs to. That's not, cause Storyboard is really, to me, it's like, it's his own identity when he moves.
But this is the thing that I feel like I don't know if Storyboard would like if what he does really well would translate really well to a battle.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. I think that the thing that's also great about Green is like he is really effective in battles.
Yeah,
And
the format,
especially-
he masters the format.
Yeah,
You're
I think
right about
Monster's
that.
another one like this. But it's like it's really a skill in itself to be a great artist, but also translate that to a 1 minute round or a 30-second round. It's like if you say to Green you're in the finals against fucking Hoan or, you know, someone that's like top level, it's like you've got 30 seconds to show that you're better than this guy, and he'll do everything that is necessary. Like he'll take his time, he'll put the blow ups in, he'll put the foundation, he'll show he's got footwork, he'll use the space. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
And give you a finger.
yeah, and the battle kind of mentality of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That guy's
A machine.
freaking machine. man.
I wouldn't see Storyboard P in a battle format as we know battles, you know.
Yeah.
But have you seen the videos of it? Do you like Storyboard P?
Yeah, I like this type of, like you said, like they're not, like I think Green is like you within the context of pop-in, you recognize how good
Yeah.
it is. You know what I mean? And there's some things that like my mum would watch and be like, oh, that's cool. Like when he does the floor work and stuff. But someone like Storyboard P is like, I can show my mum any video and she would be like, oh, he's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like outside, he's a bit like the twins.
You're
He's
right.
like almost transcends the battle world. It's just, oh, that's just cool to look at.
Yeah, you're right about that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what's interesting about him also is he has his own. Yeah.
Is this Storyboard P?
Yeah,
Who are you talking about?
he has his own like timing with things. So yeah, maybe a battle. But I've seen the battles with him like in the street. Like he gets called out. I think
Oh,
it's like
From the chest,
Bless you.
Let it out.
No, but yeah, I think Monster's also another example of that. I mean, maybe I'm like focused because you guys had Junior Boogie in hip hop.
Junior Boogie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other like Montreal
That guy
Junior
was so dope.
Boogie,
I mean-
dancers that are known around the world.
The
But
Gentleman,
this-
Junior Boogie and
Yeah,
Dark,
but the Dark never traveled that much.
not that much.
He
but I
traveled a
feel
bit,
like
yeah.
Yeah, but to the States, but meaning like he didn't have as much of a presence on like the international battle circuit
Yeah.
for people to know his name and be like, oh yeah, that's Dark. But
But,
Leah was out there for a while.
True say.
It's
Yeah,
true.
she was
True
in
say.
the UK. She won the battle that we organized.
Oh,
That's how I met her.
Oh.
She won our battle. I was like, who's this person?
Leah was out there
Yeah.
for quite
True say.
Waukesha.
some years. Who else? Nene has been out there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it's true, and she's killing it. She did
Nene,
Summer
Mac-
Dance this summer. It was
Mech
Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
yeah. McD Venom was out there.
Venom.
Yeah, Venom and Monster were.
hmm At one point, all of y'all were going out. Like Namo, Boom Beast. Who else? I mean, BB Man been going out. Abdel Abdel as well.
Yeah.
Waldo as well. Ford been going out.
Yeah.
And on the Crump, like Taminator,
Yeah,
Seven.
Taminator's killing it. Junior Mad Rip.
Yeah.
That guy's
Baby
freaking
Taminator
crazy.
too.
Baby
I mean,
Taminator.
Are we gonna take Junior Mad Rip as one of ours now? So we took Junior Mad Rip from France. So France, y'all can.
Oh, he moved here from France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
So-
why, but
Yeah.
like a lot of
he's from
French
here.
people, a lot of French people move to Montreal because they like it.
We could have had Stokos Stills.
Stokos, yes,
I would
that
have saying
guy's pretty
Stokos
dope.
is from here.
Mm.
He's
Yeah.
like that guy's like
He
a
was here a lot?
tower.
He was here a lot for
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah.
He's dope.
Stokos was here
Nice
a
guy
lot
as
at
well.
one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else did we have? Even on the whacking scene, like
Yeah.
Ebony, Axel, who
Yeah,
runs.
True that.
Axel's been killing it. She's
Yeah.
been traveling.
I know that name.
Ebony. She's the one who.
Yeah, yeah,
She
but as in
runs
I
on
know
it.
it from the battle. I think I've maybe
Whacking.
seen
Yeah.
stuff or heard.
Oh, she was at Breaking Convention. She made that video. She was in that video that
Oh,
John Z
yeah, maybe.
did. Our bodies back. Take our bodies back. Something like
I
that.
don't remember.
And B-boys, like, my bad.
No, go.
I know that it feels like the B-boy scene is its own scene that's like kind of separated from the other scenes, but they're also making a lot of noise. Like everyone that's in Sweet Technique, they're making noise around the world.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was asking ATN actually on the pod that shall not be released, but about the breakers here, because obviously there's a lot of talk about the Olympics and shit. Do you know much about like because we'd say obviously Phil Wizard is one of you guys' big b-boys, but you guys have a lot of people that are kind of approaching that level that might be Olympians or put in or
Anyone from Montreal on the Olympic roster?
yeah.
that's what I was saying. I think Mass.
Yo, Mass is amazing. I
Yeah.
see him on that level, but then after that, it's a personal choice if they
Okay.
want or not. But Mass Le Corrompu.
Mad Track also is freaking dope.
Ooh, yes.
But I'm just go.
But are they
Fleo
the
to
people
me
that
is,
are like?
You think Fleo is good? I don't think Fleo would do the Olympics. You think he would do the Olympics?
It's a personal choice for each and every one of them.
Oh, you mean
but
for
I'm
them
not-
if they would do it?
Yeah, but I'm talking just like the
Who would
level
be on
and
that
like
level?
the quality. I'm
They
like
could do it.
Fleo, Vicious. Them
Vicious
dudes,
is a partner of AT.
them dudes from Sweet Technique, yo. Amazing.
They're freaking dope.
Yeah. Who's the? Do we know who's the organization in Canada that's going to choose?
I have no idea.
Isn't it Breaking Quebec?
But they wouldn't choose for the whole of Canada, would they?
It's probably Breaking Canada then.
But you don't know the people that because like we know
I know
who.
Zig.
I think so. Might
I
be.
know Zig.
Might be. It would make sense.
But I think that I spoke to Zig this summer, and I feel like it was a national organization that he was involved with. I might be wrong, but
National as in Canada?
yeah, that's what national.
I'm done.
No, because
I'm
Quebec almost was a
done.
country, in 1995 and 1980.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You guys know about that?
No,
Yeah.
tell us.
But
Quebec was almost a country.
Okay,
we
so,
had
Almost. So it wasn't a country. It was
Yeah.
almost.
almost.
So
Mhm.
they're almost a national organization.
Yeah, man. We fucking lost.
You look sad.
anyways,
Am I? I don't know if I'm sad about. Are you sad about it?
Do you wish
I
Quebec
wasn't
was a
there.
country?
Do you wish Quebec was a country?
You can't reflect my question.
Just did. You said nothing.
He just repeated your question just with more oomph.
It's like I couldn't think of a question. I'll just ask him Luke's.
That's what I do, Luke.
I respect it.
I'm done.
We're getting derailed.
Sorry.
Try to kiss the ring. That's
If you're gonna kiss anyone, kiss the capsule ring.
Okay.
Well, no, don't do that.
Okay.
Oh shit, you made your own rings.
Yeah, you like it? It wasn't actually too expensive.
Okay, I just want
Speaking
to
of
know.
the mic.
Then we
Sorry.
can go back on subject. But J-Style, are you sad that Quebec isn't a country?
Yo, how is that a real
are
subject?
you sad
bro?
or are you not sad?
I don't know. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, good.
Okay, not
we
sad.
we can switch.
That's not sad.
Yeah, that is definitely not sad. Okay, so yeah, so where were we? Yeah,
We
people
went
that-
so many different
Yeah,
places.
we went in a lot of
yo,
different.
huh?
This
Okay,
is a
so
very
we talked
capsule-
but Junior Boogie was one of the biggest dancers
There we
that
go.
came out of
Yes.
Montreal.
Junior
Junior
Boogie.
Boogie
Yes.
was incredible.
Because I think
Yes.
also the thing that we were saying is like
Thank you, Junior Boogie, for your contribution, yo.
Man,
Yeah.
Thank
that
you.
guy's off the chain.
a lot of the battle scene is not just about level. It's kind of like a popularity contest in a way, right? So it's like the people that have the bigger names are the people that sometimes that we've just seen more than other people. You know what I mean? Like,
True indeed.
because Dom, a guy in my crew, is like one of the younger guys. He used to love the Montreal scene. He's never been here. He used to just watch videos from it. Like he knew you. Like when I
That's
first
crazy.
met Jen, I said that you were her brother or something. It came up that you were, and she was like, "Yeah, I know ATN." Like, yeah, and he knew like Abnormal and a lot of these other people, and obviously Green. But like, he used to just watch loads of these videos from the
That's
Montreal
so
scene.
awesome.
I don't know how he found you guys or
Because
like.
Montreal's the shit.
There
Yo,
you go.
what you want me to say?
You like your city, J-Style?
I love my city. I love my city. But what I want to say is,
But
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah,
I love the energy that was there when the veterans were still present in the scene.
Oh.
When
Interesting.
Jenny was still there screaming, "Ooh, ah!" in the
Yeah.
back of battles, when ATN was getting
Hosting.
aggravated and going crazy on motherfuckers doing one-hand push-ups and like,
you did that.
yeah,
I did that. I did a one-hand push-up move. It was dope, man.
Any reason? Or,
yeah.
Sorry,
any reason or just?
just because I wanted to show that I had testosterone in my body.
You know, when Monster would go crazy out of nowhere and you're like, what the fuck happened? When Venom would tweak, when Green and fucking Ness would be standing in front of Venom and Monster at Bust a Move, that's the energy that I love from the city.
feel
But I
like-
love my city.
Has there been like a transition in terms of like because we kind of have a similar thing in the UK actually, that like a certain age group are not battling as much anymore, and you have the younger kids coming up.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. It's like out with the old, in with the new. But I'm like, y'all still have something to say and y'all still have something to contribute. It's not about always winning a battle. It's about being part of the community. You know, it's like your energy still travels and communicates. You know, seeing ATN dance, to me, it's inspiring to see the way that he moves, the way that he's animated, that he'll like, how could I say, add character to his shit, and then it'll be a note to myself to add more of that when I'm dancing as well. But then if he's not there, then not necessarily where am I going to take it, but it's like that aspect is gone with the person as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when you remove yourself, you remove all the parts that are part of you, you know? When Boom Beast is out, that energy that he has when he's dancing is not part of the scene anymore, you know?
That's true.
So I mean that's how I see
You
it.
sound like a nostalgic type of guy.
I am super nostalgic, yo. What? Hey, I had some of the
Are you?
most amazing moments just watching y'all go crazy, yo.
So the question is, are you always nostalgic? Like
No, not always. No, because that's
sometimes when you're in the moment, you're in the moment. You don't look. You don't always look back in a kind of sad way.
No.
And if you had to like, so you love your city, you love the scene here, but is there another place you've been in the world that you were like?
Of course, Jen wants the critique. Jen wants.
No, I don't want the critique, but I just want to know, like, is there another place that for you kind of, I don't know necessarily what your personal focus and like aspirations are, but maybe there's another city that provides more of that you're like, oh yeah, this is the vibe here. Like I know you trained in Memphis or like, no?
I trained
Didn't
in
you
New
go?
York. No,
New
that
York.
was
Okay.
Pax and them.
Okay, I thought you traveled with them. But yeah, like is there another place for you that you love in a different way or?
New York and France.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. France is super battle heavy. It's hostile territory.
Yeah,
It's
true.
super hostile. So it's like you better like hold yourself together when you get there. You know, you better be able to have a backbone and to speak and to talk your shit. You know, so to
I
me,
feel like once you have that, they're kind of like, okay, cool.
yeah, that's when they welcome you in.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I didn't enjoy myself in France until the fourth time I went there. It's like I went there 3 times and I did not enjoy myself until the fourth time where it was like, okay, now I'm not here to win a battle. I'm just going to chill. I'm I'm gonna dance with people, exchange, gain from the experience, and also give, because I just don't want to take and leave, you know. And that's the only time I actually enjoyed myself, you know. But yeah.
Because what was the feeling when you were leaving? The times you didn't like it, were you like pissed off or just disappointed, or like?
Both, pissed off and disappointed. Pissed off because I felt like what I was saying wasn't communicated, it wasn't received, and disappointed because, I mean, you didn't make it past the prelims, and you're like, damn, yo, I spent all this money, traveled all the way through to here, and I'm leaving with nothing, you know. When you're in the mentality of like, yo, I need to gain something like material from being here, you know.
Yeah, I think when I first went to France, I kind of got lucky. Well, not lucky, but like, you know, Sasha, the popper?
Yeah.
Like, the first time I ever went to France, like, I had met her in London on a job. And I went to France to hang out with her. So I went there and I hung out with her and Cynthia. And
she's really nice.
Yeah, super nice. And some of the, like, that's how I met Stokos, Yanka, a lot of these Blondie. So I kind of met all of the, I know, right? I met all of them through Sash and through Bandidas and those guys. And it was like almost like a cheat code to Paris, because it was like I went there with them. And then anytime I went to a session or I went to thing, I was with them. So I kind of got the nice side of people, because they were like, oh, you're a friend of Sasha, or you're a friend of Blondie, or whoever.
If somebody brings you, like, there's just these kinds of, there's places that I feel if you just come on your own, like, I feel like Montreal, even if you come on your own, people will be super welcoming, like, hey, where you from? Want to come to my house after? We're having a dinner. Like, people that are very welcoming like that. But in a place like France, like, unless you are with somebody, people will not give you the time of day.
Do you feel like that about London?
No, I feel like London is kind of in between Montreal and Paris, where people in London won't go out of their way to be like, hey, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you want to come with us? But at the same time, if you ask people for help in London, they will help you. Whereas I feel like if you ask for help to people in Paris, they're going to be like, oh, no, don't know. Like, they're just not really going to, like, respond. Whereas I feel like, people in London won't make it a point to do it, but if you reach out, then they will help.
That's interesting. Sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people, a lot of dancers that came from France to Montreal mentioned the same thing. That like they just be standing on the street looking like they're looking for directions, and people would just like come to them and be like, yo, are you okay? Do you need to
outside of the dance scene, like, just normal people?
Like, are you looking for somewhere to go? Like, can I help you with something, you know? And they were shocked. They were like, yo, people actually come through and like offer help.
Yeah, I remember like Lemzo, he came for Chaos Unleashed, and he was like so shook because he was jet lagged or something, and he was at the event and he was like kind of sleeping in a corner, or like kind of dozing off and falling asleep, and somebody came to wake him up, and they were like, wake up, like, do you want to dance with me? Like, do you want a session? Like, let's get down.
Who's this cutie? What?
Yeah. And he was like, Lemzo was just like, well, he was making fun of people in Montreal, like saying get down.
Yeah.
Especially in French, like, ça tente de get down. So he was like, I was sleeping and somebody just came to see me, like, est-ce que tu veux get down? And he just like said, I woke up, and I was like, yeah, okay. But I was just, that's not that so typical, but that's such a Montreal thing of, oh, you're here, well, let's make something out of it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
Okay, I got a question for Jenny. Because we talked about London, so Jenny, you know, just you traveled around all your life.
Yep.
And at one point you stopped at OSA for like a year and a half.
A year.
True say.
And then you traveled within that year to a lot of places.
Yeah.
You had lived like in Paris for a couple months when you were younger. You lived in New York also, like a month also.
Yeah.
But what was it about London that made you, okay, I'm staying here? And you were more dancing at the time, right? You were more into like...
You left us here.
I know, I did like 8 years ago now, almost.
Damn, it's been a while, bro.
Sorry, guys.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
It's all right, man.
No, I think what made me stay in London was that I could see that there was opportunities, and I could see that there was like a lot of things that were possible. But it's like, you know, when you feel like, okay, you get one thing and you're like, but I'm just getting started. Like, there's more, like, there's more behind there. There's more of like opportunity and the kind of things. And also because I feel like one thing that's quite particular about London versus a lot of places is that because it's such a big like entertainment capital, there's a lot of different avenues that you can take with dance, you know, where some people live off straight like being commercial dancers, like backup dancers for artists, like strictly the commercial industry. There's people that live off straight off like the theater, you know, kind of being in contemporary companies, blah blah. There's there's people that are kind of really not necessarily living off of, but like doing well in the battle circuit and judging and teaching and kind of having a lifestyle off of that. And then there's a lot of people that do like the, you know, like they kind of work across the three. But so I feel like, you know, coming from a place like here, there we don't have industries like that. You know, we don't have like enough to go very not to go very far, but it's like, okay, even if you're into a commercial dancer, it's like you do a few gigs on TV, you do Cirque du Soleil, and then you've done like all the biggest things. Like I remember Monster at one point, I think he was like maybe 30, and he was like, I've done like all the biggest jobs in Montreal, like the biggest contracts that there are. And
whereas
like,
I feel like in London, you have loads, you have more coming every day. Like there's new ventures and things that pop up, but you also have, well, before the Brexit shit, you had like Europe at your disposal.
yeah.
So it's like you could live in London and work regularly in France. Like that could be your whole job is working in France, you know, or all of these countries. So if you times that by however many countries in Europe there are, that's a hell of a lot of opportunity in one.
But so I just felt like being there, it was kind of not necessarily like I want to crack the code, but just always getting a little bit further and saying I'm just like something's gonna happen. I'm just there. I haven't even really started. So it always felt a thing like I know that there's something for me. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that I have to kind of keep going because I went there without a plan of staying.
My days.
You know, I just went with it like a
tell the story about how you ended up staying.
Well, it's kind of that really of like I did a 2-year work holiday visa. So while I was on that visa, like when I moved there, I had just spent a year in Sweden, so I didn't really have any money left. And then so I was working in a restaurant and like trying to audition and trying to train, but it's like I was working in a restaurant like 50 hours a week, so
My days.
Just to pay rent.
Wait, this is in London?
Yeah.
But I was talking about the audition thing, about how you decided to stay in London.
So basically, I was in Sweden studying at OSA, and then I kind of wanted to stay in Europe because of the lifestyle of all the dancers there that were like, oh yeah, I have a job in Berlin, and then after that I might go spend 2 weeks to train in Paris, and then after that I'm probably gonna go to that event in Berlin. And it's like, you know, coming from Montreal, that's just not a reality for us. It's like maybe I'll go to New York this summer. I'm not sure.
Like 7 months. I'm planning this trip.
So I just wanted that lifestyle, and then I got an audition for a company in London, and then I was staying at my like a friend that I met in Sweden. I was staying at my friend's place in London, who is Joel. Shout out to Joel. And then I was staying in his room for the week when I was auditioning. And then one of the roommates, while I was there, she said, oh, I decided I'm not renewing my lease, so I'm going to leave in August. And that was in May. And then so the guys at the apartment, which is Frankie J, Kieran, and Joel.
Bunch of amazing dancers.
Yeah, amazing dancers. They were like, oh my God, if you get the audition, it's perfect. You can take the room, you know? And then I ended up not getting the audition, but I was like, but I'll still take the room. Yeah, so things just kind of aligned, and then I said, oh, okay, because...
How? You just said you didn't get the audition.
Yeah, I didn't get the...
She was like, no money, no jobs.
Let's go.
I'm taking it.
Things are aligned.
I love it.
Yes, like no money, no job, didn't get the audition. Seems like everything's lined up, ready for me to go.
She's like, they're like, it's like she's looking at her bank account, it says 0. The good thing, she gets the email saying like, no, you've been rejected, and she's like, God wants me to stay here.
Yup.
Meant to be.
Message,
that's the hustle.
Message.
That's the hustle.
Universe is telling me.
The universe is telling me to hustle. That's it.
No, but because at that time, basically for me, it was between Paris and London. And I had lived in Paris for a few months when I was 20, and I didn't really want to go live there. So I was kind of thinking, all right, basically when I was in Sweden, I said, okay, either I'm going to find a job and I'll move to wherever that job is. But if I don't find a job, I have to move somewhere and make jobs happen. So in my head, I was thinking, where would that be? Like, I really liked Berlin too. But for me, Berlin was a bit too similar to Montreal. Like in a sense that I didn't have as much of a industry, and there's a lot of opportunities to build things. But I was at a point in my career where I was like, I don't really want to build things. I want to be part of things that are in place.
Yeah.
You know?
And the language barrier must have been.
Yeah,
you know.
language barriers. So then I was kind of thinking like, okay, maybe London is a good option. So it was already in the back of my mind. And then I went for that audition. I didn't get it. But then because the room was there and in a house full of dancers, I was kind of thinking, well, like that's one of the most stressful parts of moving to another country is like knowing where you're going to live and knowing that you're going to be with nice people. And also it's like knowing that they were going to be my in, you know, that like, oh, I'm with people that when they go out, I can go with them.
And like 3 of the best dancers in the country.
Yeah. Although at that time I didn't know, like I didn't.
I mean, well, Frankie and Joel.
Yeah, but
You don't like Kieran? Wow.
well, you're being
Just because I know who'll watch this.
No, but even
Love you, Kieran.
when you think about it, like they were doing well, but also 7 years ago, you know, they weren't.
True. They weren't who they are now.
Yeah.
That's true.
Frankie J was still freaking killing it though. No.
He was at the
but not
he was at the
level
beginning.
of- he was like starting to get a name.
Like
I think. Then even when you moved, it was maybe before he started.
No, I think when I moved, he was doing really well in London.
Yes.
But it's like
He's been like a figure in the community for forever.
Yeah, but
he
was
didn't have the name.
he was like really killing it in London when I moved, and then while I was living there, it's like that's when he started to really travel a lot in Europe and like go abroad. I feel like to get kind of a more international name. So basically, he's famous because of me.
Whoa.
Right.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
2 + 2 = 76.
For real, huh?
I love
That's
basic
a
math.
great-
Basic
I
math.
love that math.
Basic math.
Yeah.
No, but yeah. So, anyways, so I moved there, and then yeah, I was just kind of on the hustle of trying to make it there, and then after the 2 years of my work visa, expired, I was kind of still on the thing of, okay, I'm just getting started. Like good things have happened and I've done cool things, but this is just the beginning. If I leave now, I feel like I won't even have given myself a real chance to.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like London
So-
is like one of those cities that there is a lot, especially in the entertainment world. There's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
Like or there's a lot of avenues. Yeah, like you said that you can.
Yeah,
for
like
yourself.
I remember even like in my early days, like chatting to Clara and, you know, kind of saying like, oh, this is so like, I think it was like 7 months or 8 months after I had been there that I was like, oh, things aren't really happening for me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I remember she legit told me like 6 months is cat piss. Like nothing's going to happen in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like she said, once you've been here 5 years, if nothing happens, then you can say nothing's happening. But you have to like give yourself a chance.
give
This is
yourself a
I see a
chance.
lot of dancers like that they pass, especially in, like we were saying, in Europe, where you can kind of move really easily between countries. Like they move somewhere for like a year or 6 months and then nothing really happens, and they move again and move again and move again. And I think something that you discovered is like, yeah, it takes a time to build something and to be established and for things to be accepted and, you know, for new ideas to take hold or for you to get in the position of like the job that you got now, like finding that, you know what I mean? Like everything led to that point where you got that job. And I think it's like, if you keep moving and keep leaving somewhere, you never give things a chance to take grip, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, even for people to think about you for a job, you know, or to
You gotta be around. They gotta see
for,
you.
for your name to be like, oh yeah, we need, even if it's a teaching job or a workshop or judging or performance, for you to be like, oh yeah, I'll let J-Style know about that.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna have to
Your
not
name
just
needs
have
to be
seen
in
you
people's mouths
once.
and
And just you have to be around, and you know, there's like legit there's jobs that I've gotten that I've had because I was at an event.
Yeah.
You know, and people are like, oh yeah, now that I see you here, I'm looking for
Yeah, this happens to me all the time.
I got a documentary like that. And basically you overstayed your visa. Is that what you're saying?
no.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Damn, bro, you trying to get her arrested?
I mean, she
Goddamn.
dry snitching on herself. She's like, so I had a 2-year youth work visa.
Yeah,
I stayed
7
1
years
year
later.
in 1 year in Sweden. Then my next year I was there.
He's doing
And
the
then
maths in the
6
corner.
months later, I was still looking for a job. I'm like, wait, what?
No, because basically I did the.
It's okay. They're not gonna come to get you. Right?
No. But I did. Because this
is
is
blackmail. If I ever get sick of it, I send this clip.
And
No,
you all
but-
know government officials listen to the podcast.
Yeah. That's
true, they do.
Weekly.
maybe they do. But this is the thing. I think that for dancers also, like that, moving and all the paperwork that comes with it is like a stress of how it works. But basically, I did at first a 2-year work holiday visa, which you can do in most countries in Europe if you're under 30. And then after that finished, I had to come back to Canada for 3 months to redo a new visa, which was like
Which she almost didn't do.
a global
I
talent.
had to. No,
Yeah.
don't gloss over it.
Uh,
She didn't. She didn't know that she had to do her visa from outside. She hasn't told you the story.
Wow. So
She
you were
didn't-
trying to do it from inside the country?
I thought I could apply
And
for
she
it.
was like in the middle of like doing it and stuff like that. And this is when we had just met, I think. And then she was saying, "Yeah, I'm going to do this visa. Hopefully, it gets thingy and accepted, and then I can stay." And then she was making like vision boards and all this stuff about her future. And then I was, as we're like just chatting and we're like just chilling, I'm like scrolling through her visa thing. She's like, "Oh, it's this visa," and I'm scrolling through, and I'm like, you have to leave for 6 months to do this. And she was like, "What?" And then she looked at
3
it
months.
and
3 months.
okay, 3 months or
shattering.
whatever. And then she legit like was like, "Oh shit!" And then like ran downstairs and told her roommates like, "Guys, I have to leave for 3 months."
Wow.
But like she was really gonna apply for it, like just that.
Oh, you thought it was a sweet life.
Yeah, but then I got deported. No, I didn't get deported, but I had to
It's
come
okay.
back. I had to come back for 3 months to do a new visa, which was like a global talent visa, which is the one that I'm still on now. So it was a
Nice.
Pretty
5 year,
gangster
Talent
visa.
What's that?
5 year and a half visa. It's like an artist.
And you
visa.
could like work as an artist anywhere type shit?
in the UK.
But you
Okay,
can the visa's like you can work at any job, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be art.
Yeah.
Okay, so
some
you can work
visas-
at a cafe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, isn't it mad rare, this visa?
I don't know that it's, but they have I don't remember exactly, because basically they have a certain amount of visa to distribute every year in different categories. So like arts and science, or, basically you have to show that you're either a leader or an emerging leader in your field. So for me, it was like emerging leader,
Talk your shit.
Go, bro.
so I had to do like a file to present like evidence that I had achieved XYZ. So yeah, so I think there's like not that many amount like
That are distributed.
that, it's a small amount, like
Yeah,
let's say
yeah,
it's
yeah.
500 visas across arts and
My
science,
days.
but I don't know if it's that number, but I was
thought it
just
less
stressed.
than that.
Maybe it is. I don't really remember. I just remember being quite stressed by the whole process. But
It must be stressful.
Yeah.
I feel like emerging leader could be like a job title in like the North Korean government.
Really? But they don't have any new leaders. They just have
But
the
it's like
same leader.
supreme leader and then
Oh,
emerging leader,
Okay, yeah.
then submerging leader, the guy that takes care of
Submerging
the
leader.
water. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
waterboarding guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Submerging leader. That's a good. I like that.
It must be it must be like winning a competition to get a visa. No?
Yo.
Yeah.
Like you must get crazy satisfaction.
And
It's
I
like
never-
winning the lottery or something.
Yeah, I never
sometimes.
did so well on the battle circuit, but I did great on the visa circuit.
Bro, because Jay, I don't know if je sais pas si t'es à l'aise de parler de ça, but because you trying to go to New York, you go to New York a little bit also. Are you in like
What's your process?
yeah, what's your process? You try to get a green card? You trying to get like
Yeah.
you trying to get someone to
Also-
give you a green card?
On that, can we
Yeah, someone
do
give
a
me
bit of
green
your
card.
background? Like,
Yeah,
what's
sure.
your?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
What do you do in dance? Like, what for people that don't know
I
you?
sell drugs and move them keys, yo. I'll move that cocaine. Okay,
Can I
no.
have some?
Wow.
No, we ain't gonna do
Okay,
that.
no, we're not doing
Um,
Yeah. So what sort of
Really
things do you
happy for
do
you.
in dance, and what sort of things are you trying to do? And also in the process of answering that, you can also answer if you're gonna move to New York.
so the things that I do in dance, right now I don't battle as much, but I used to battle quite a lot.
In popping?
Dope ass
In
fucking
popping,
battler.
yeah. Thank you. I would battle a lot in popping, also in all style, especially when I started getting back into Bruck Up. Traveled to battled locally as well. I got into performance art, like theater work, through with Ebb and Flow, Spicy's company. Spicy's an OG from
Yeah, shout
Montreal.
out to them. Some dope stuff.
So did theater work with her. Did theater work also with Ford, even before Ebb and Flow was doing
It's true.
theater work with
Oh
Ford.
wow, I forgot about that.
Who's
Yeah.
that? I don't know who that is.
Ford the Mover. He organizes Chaos Unleashed, and he
Oh,
has
okay.
this NPO called Forward's Movement. Yeah. Amazing dancer and cultural leader from here as well, you know. What else did I do?
Bro,
I dance.
hold on. I got a question about you dancing.
Okay, I'm listening.
What made you go? Because you were one of the first ones to get into Bruck Up from here, right?
Not one of the first ones. I have older brothers that were into Bruck Up before I went
Can
into
we also
it.
give a background on what that is?
Oh my
Let's
days.
go, bro. Give a little history.
I don't want to. Wow. I rather when people from New York speak about Bruck Up because there's like an ongoing debate, you know. But Bruck Up itself is a format, a way of moving, a dance style for those that practice Bruck Up. For others that practice flexing, they might see it more as a format and as a person. So Mr. Bruck Up, who was from Jamaica that moved to Brooklyn and had this whole way of moving and this whole format that was then used by other dancers from Brooklyn, and then they started adding other elements to that style, you know, to that way of moving. So to the Bruck Up format, they started adding waves and glides and illusions and everything that was present in street dance at that time, in street dance and in street culture. So like movies like Matrix were super heavy back in the day, so the slow motion was super heavy. You know, there was a movie where they were pulling out guns from everywhere. I forgot the movie. And then that also became a concept in the dance style itself.
Stop motion also, no?
Yeah. Pausing, that came from just watching tapes and pausing the tape and seeing that jerking effect and being like, how can I add this to what I'm doing right now, you know? Well, how could I do it in live action, you know? So, yeah, but when you start talking about all of those other styles, people will start talking about flexing. So, yeah. So Bruck Up, some people, like I said, will see it as a format. Others will see it as a whole dance style where you are taking the essence of dancehall and fusing it with street dance culture.
But would you say like Bruck Up is a bit umbrella term like popping is?
I do not want to
get involved.
Say any of that.
Yeah, put terms like that out there. I'll just say, I encourage y'all to do your research. Go see people like Ghost. Go see people like Cal. Go see people like Droid. Go see people like Poba. Get yourself informed. And if you have the chance to speak to Mr. Bruck Up, George Adams, do that as well.
I feel like it's interesting because we see this with a lot of styles that are coming out in our lifetime, I think, and also with stuff like popping and breaking and those type of things, where we're trying to like categorize and in a way like institutionalize cultures that are still in the process of being born.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard at the beginning. It's like even hard with something like popping or breaking, which is got pretty, I mean, especially with the Olympics and stuff now with breaking, like it's a pretty established setup of what breaking is and what breaking isn't, and to a certain extent how it should be. And that's been, I think, pretty hard, you know, even with a style like that. But I think some of these newer styles, I mean, there's also, I'm assuming, some debate with like light feet and stuff like that and different areas of it. True. And it's like,
most definitely,
these styles that are being created literally now, it's like as they're coming out, we're trying to categorize them and say, what is the foundation? What's this? What's this? And it's like, sometimes they just need a little time to breathe and for people to work it out, I guess, session it out. And then you were like, okay, 50 years from now, we can look at this and go, all right, this is a foundation move. This isn't a foundation move. We don't know yet.
But by the time those 50 years pass, those elders could have been forgotten. Those foundations could have been forgotten.
It's like a delicate balance.
Yeah, you know, it's tough to navigate.
That's why I think, I mean, I'm obviously saying this as a podcaster, but you are too. So maybe you feel like that. But I feel like more than needing to like hold on to like what is or isn't these things, because like you said, it's like we don't want to forget the people that are doing this stuff and gloss over it, but we also don't want to squeeze the life out of it too early. But I feel like for me it's just the documentation of it. It's like the more we film, the more we talk, the more we record this stuff, then it's like we're not going to forget these people, but then in 50 years we can look back over it's easier to look back at the whole spectrum of, let's say, like 50, 100 years of light feet and say, okay, cool, now that we see everything and all the evolution and all the things we've done, okay, now we can start to categorize it.
You know, when you do it, timeline.
Exactly, yeah. When you do it too early, it's a bit like You're strangling it. When you do it too late, it can be destroyed. You know what I mean? It's a real delicate balance of how to take these things. And I'd be interested to talk to like a ballet historian, or you know what I mean, like how they did it.
Because I feel like everything is documented.
Yeah,
everything is in them books, and there's a very is it stringent? Not stringent,
like
but
strict.
Strict way of teaching ballet of like, you know, when you are outside the boundaries of ballet and when you are within the boundaries of ballet.
I think it's an interesting thing as well, and I'm like, I don't fully know what I'm saying, but as usual,
This is a podcast. Everyone's like that, like on any podcast.
Especially this podcast.
I feel like ballet was always like a upper class, like it was always contained in like a
rigid format.
A rigid format for specific people, for a specific kind of entertainment. Whereas like I feel street dance is a bit more the Wild West, you know, especially when it just begins, that like anybody can do it. And the beauty of it is that people can take it in any direction that they want, and it evolves in different, like one thing evolves in a lot of different directions, and there's not really a body or an institution controlling it. But that's what makes it.
Yeah, and I think you wouldn't have a lot of the things if, because you were talking about, I mean, again, I know you don't want to talk too much about what breakup is, but you were talking about like taking the essence of dance hall and fusing it with this and taking some of the elements of this, and like that wouldn't happen if there was someone going, like if there was an institution going, you're not allowed to do that. You know what I mean? So I think the beauty of it, like you're saying, is that there are no, like there is and there isn't boundaries. You know what I mean? It's like maybe some things wouldn't have, like some styles wouldn't have become what they are if popping didn't exist, or if breaking didn't start, there wouldn't be, let's say if breaking didn't start, there wouldn't be a lot of the floor work in house, I think, from my limited knowledge. So then it's like you're by taking that thing, because from, again, guys, if Frankie's listening, he might cuss me, but from what I know is like a lot of the floor work in house came from breakers having to dance in house clubs because a lot of where they were got shut down or something. I'm destroying the history of house dance right now.
Perfect.
But like, let's say because they evolved side by side, there was a lot of these house dancers that the breakers kind of came into their club and they exchange and learn from them. And it's like, if someone was saying, no, house dancer, you're not allowed to do this type of move because that's breaking and you're a house dancer, you know what I mean? House might not, or these type of things might not have evolved in the way that they did. So it's really interesting because it's like, you don't want things to be taken in the wrong direction by the wrong people at the wrong time, like for the wrong reasons. But when it does happen in the right way, it's kind of beautiful, you know?
True say.
It's like, it's like, how do we even govern that?
True say.
It's really hard because the one person might say, I'm sure this has happened with some styles. I'm trying to think of examples, but
it's like you're always at the cusp of a new discovery.
Yeah.
You know?
Or you're always at the cusp of the wrong person.
Exactly.
It's like, and one person's like beautiful transition might be another person's, this is shit.
Yeah, and you know what I mean? You'll only know once it's already happened.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like once it's too late, it's like, what do you do next?
Yeah.
You know?
But we're talking about you and New York.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, my days.
You good?
So I had older brothers in Little Burgundy that were already bruck up in. That is not a term. Already doing bruck up. My bad.
All right, dude. Respect yourself. You said it. It sounded all right.
It's out there. It's out there.
You're pioneering a new name.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. A pioneer in saying bruck up and B, I ain't gonna push that one. I ain't gonna push that one. So ITC, End Time Crew, with Subliminal, Sova, and B. Busta, his name was Busta Move. So older brothers from the hood that were already doing bruck up, and I didn't understand how they were moving, and they didn't have the tools to actually teach me bruck up. You know, they were just watching shit and mimicking, and then I was like, yo, I want to learn that, but I don't have the tools. So they sent me to popping. That's how I got into popping. And what was I saying? You were talking about New York?
Because you were saying like you go into New York a lot. Like, would you live there? Would you?
Yes. So at one point when I got really into bruck up, I was like, yo, I want to go to the events. I started going to Battle Fest, so like leave for a weekend just to go to Battle Fest, try to get into some sessions, see the people, breathe the same air that they're breathing. Because to me, it's not about moves, it's not about blow ups, it's about culture. Like the dance lives within the culture, and the culture is more than just the moves that they're doing. It's how people chill, how people speak, what they'll consume, all of that. So I needed to be to witness that and to be part of that. And I was doing a lot of back and forth between Montreal and New York. And then at one point it got costly. Then I had a car, so it was easier. But at one point I remember going to Battle Fest and the event started mad late. And my bus that day was like at midnight, but the event started around 10. So I was only able to watch 2 battles, and then I had to go. And the feeling that I had in the bus was like I was torn. I was like, damn, I wish I could stay and all that. And then that sparked the, maybe I should just move here to like really be engulfed in the culture, And then from there, other thoughts came from like trying to find work in the city, trying to like just develop myself in the city as well, So I decided to move to New York, clandestinement, with no papers, for about 6 months, because you could get you have a tourist visa as soon as you cross the borders as a Canadian resident or a Canadian citizen, So I would go to New York. I wasn't working in New York, so I would just go to New York. I was subletting an apartment. I'd train, get in touch with people, made some dope friends. Then come back to Montreal for like a week, work with the company, teach a few privates, and then boom, go back to New York. Once again, same thing, go to a bunch of events, chill with people, just be part of the culture, then come back to Montreal, New York, Montreal, New York, Montreal. So I had moved to New York, but I was still, my mainstreams of income were still in Montreal. So I would come back to Montreal quite regularly as well to work, and then go back to New York.
Did you like that life rhythm of like going to New York, going here, you work, you dance, you go back out?
I loved it at the time when I had the energy to do it. Like I had so much energy. Now that I'm looking back at it, I'm like, that's so much energy. Like 3 weeks in New York, pack your shit, drive 6.5 hours to Montreal, unpack your shit, do whatever you got to do. You have a full week residency, then pack back your shit, go back to New York. It's a lot, But the lifestyle was driving. It was, I felt the drive from it, because I also saw the evolution in what I was doing, and I saw that I was inching also a bit, like you said, It's like, I feel like I could do more and do more and do more. So I was inching and inching and inching, and there was opportunities for work that I was like, oh shit, so people are seeing me under that light here. Oh, that's super dope. Like, okay, so there's a possibility to actually make that happen, But yeah,
it's dope, man. And so we were talking about this earlier. Like every time I go to New York, I hate it. I don't like that city.
Really?
I think it's I don't like it. It's like every time I'm just like,
it's what, like too much?
That's so unfortunate.
I don't know. Every time I go, I'm just like, fuck this place. Like, why am I here? Why am I
feel like
here?
it's being there is like being like, it's like a buzz.
But do you feel like that about London?
No. And that's what I was about to say. I met a lot of Quebecers in the recent years that talk about England and London, and they say that we have much more similarities with London than we do with like French people. Like we do with English people more than we do with French people. Like we have similarities in our ways and the way, I don't know. But in New York, the thing is, I feel like a worm.
A worm? Which a worm?
Like a big like earthworm?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that when I'm there. I feel like useless, no spine. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm just out there. I'm not feeling. I feel like a worm. I feel like an ant with like so many other ants. Like you don't feel
special?
Kind of.
But why should you feel special?
Like because I'm addicted to that.
Oh, my bad. Okay, cool. It is what it is. That's.
But you don't find that like a nice in a way? No, like because I feel like that's something I like about London. I think that's what I like about New York. I've never lived there, but that's what a lie I just told. I never lived there as an adult.
So you lived in New York?
Yeah, my dad was from the States, so I lived in New York until I was like 6 or 7.
Oh, that's amazing.
But I've never lived in New York. But I think what I like about it is, and the same thing I like about London is like, it's so huge and there's so many people. It's kind of like, I don't know, I feel like anything is like, I'm like, oh, maybe today I'll meet like a famous person, or maybe today I'll meet somebody who's going to give me £1 million for no reason, or maybe today I'm going to get punched in the face and robbed. Like anything can happen any day.
Anything.
So it's kind of like you leave the house and you're like, hey, I think I know where my day is going, but maybe I don't.
It's a roll of dice. And it's amazing that you say that, because I've had that, like I went to London for the first time last year, sorry. And I had a similar feeling to New York when I went to London. I was like, yo, it's such a vibrant city. You could meet so many artists at any given time. There's like so much happening, you know. But it's just super far. Other than like 6 hour drive, it's a 6 hour flight.
But how come you don't feel like that about New York but not London? What do you feel about London?
Because you guys are out there and I know you guys.
okay.
I think maybe I don't have like a.
You're a bit more like thrown in the mess in New York. You don't have someone.
I got people that I love out there in New York also, but I don't know, just the city. It's like
but I feel like even if like the similarity between New York and London is that it's a like everyone's on the grind city.
Yes,
you know. And it's like, it's also melting pots. Like you can go there and not really meet anybody from New York. Or you can be in London and not really meet anyone from London. So
that's more LA, I feel.
Of what?
I know what you mean.
You'll not meet anyone
no,
from...
but
I think it's but easier if you say it like
meaning it's
multicultural. So it's like people, there could be anyone from New York that aren't American born and bred.
Okay,
it could be like immigrants or like, which is very London. Like everybody's an immigrant.
Or just like people go to New York from all over. People go to London from all over. You know, whereas like if you go to Paris, the majority of people that are there are from Paris.
Born in Paris.
Yeah. Like if you're in Montreal, majority of people you meet are born and raised in Montreal. In Montreal. So I feel like in that sense they're very transient cities where people just come and go a lot from a lot of different places in the world.
That's one thing. Go.
But I feel like the energy of New York is really different than the energy in London. I feel like being in New York is like being buzzed. Like I feel like you had a full day out, but you don't feel tired. Like
you still have that American energy. Like London's still has a bit of like British energy, which is a bit more reserved,
tamed and like and kind of more quiet. Whereas New York is like it's really loud in your face. Just you know, it feels like. If it was music, like New York would be a house. It would be like all
the entire time with no nuances.
Yeah.
But
you know, you can get like people are super chatty and like just everyone's like on the go. Whereas London is it's like that, meaning like it's an expensive city where everybody's trying to make something happen, but it's a lot more quiet. You know, it's a lot more like it's the undercurrent, whereas New York, that's really what's in your face.
Like if you walk around London, you can feel like everybody's depressed and sad and everyone's grumpy, you know what I mean? Like if you're sitting on the train, you look around, everyone's like this, but if you find your crowd in your community, then you can get that energetic feeling.
Whereas like New York is just like on the train is like
everything is live. Like you'd be sitting on the train and there's like everything happened. Exactly.
There's somebody like high off their heads, like telling themselves stories. There's
like
business people
singing Miley Cyrus, something like that.
Sounds
New
very
York
specific.
Is that place, It's so vibrant as a city. It's bred so many amazing artists. And amazing things. Like there's so much inspiration for me that comes from there. And I have a question for actually the both of y'all. But I don't know who to ask it first with.
Let's go. We'll fight with a.
Let's go for your question first.
I have a question.
I have a question for you.
Let's go, bro.
So ATN, yes, Mr. ATN, amazing danseur extraordinaire.
You look so scared.
Respect, bro.
What? Because at one point we didn't see you as much in the scene, and I mean you're not participating as much in the dance scene as you were before. What triggered that? What made you find a different avenue?
I got into theater school and that just took all my time. It was really simple. Like I just couldn't go out to dance anymore. And I was kind of like for the amount of effort I was putting in it, it wasn't satisfying. I didn't like where I was at, and I just found something that I thought I was more gifted in acting, and I just went into that and I just stopped. And like it was kind of a cut for me with that's what we were talking about in the unreleased podcast. But just like I was so like I love the idea of community so much in street dancing, and when I left it, I was kind of not done with it, but it didn't have as much importance anymore. Like I saw kind of like because I saw it as a really positive thing, but then when you experience something, there's a good side. There's it just happens. It's just life.
Of course.
And I was just over it. I was just like, fuck all this shit. I'm just what was important for me was just like becoming excellent at like one thing, just like being the best thing I could be at one thing. and I just found like everything that was nourishing me in dancing, I found that I could still find the same nourishment in acting. Like the recognition, feeling seen, feeling like, you know, feeling like, oh, I'm sharing something that's close to my heart. And yeah, so yeah, man.
I mean, you must be very successful. My guy got the Prada glasses on. Oh, my fault.
I do have Prada glasses on.
My fault.
I'm a millionaire.
Can I borrow $10?
Sure.
Sick.
But yeah, so that's about it, man. But I do miss sometimes.
We miss you, ATN.
Yeah, well, I miss you guys too, man.
Miss you a lot.
Oh,
That was my answer.
so cute.
Love you, J Style, man.
Oh, love you too, my guy.
You know, I love when J Style. Here's a visual thing. I love when J Style does something like this.
I'm done.
I would assume he does it better than that, though, right?
It's way better.
Just I was thinking like he was like he's like, oh, you killing my move right now.
Yo,
It's like
He was
this.
like, don't make
No,
people
I've
think that that's what I do.
I've seen my
Why you
homie
look like a fish?
Keenan. Y'all know.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
fire.
Keenan. We were at
Who's the New York guy?
The lifey guy.
Woo!
That guy was dope.
Keenan. We were at Le Bain in New York. So that's a club in New York, and we're sitting chilling, and we're doing a bunch of tuts. Him, myself, and Layden. And Layden's going crazy, doing bone breaks and all of that. And then Keenan just puts his feet up and start boom, 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 out of fucking nowhere. Yo, at the party like that, he's just going crazy with feet
He's
tuts
sick.
in the air. I'm like, this dude is out of this world.
Yeah, he's really like
Out
a.
of this world.
I feel like if you're a popper that wants to like light feet, you can watch him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
It's
mean?
really entertaining. Yeah.
He has some
He's
really,
one of my biggest inspirations from
Really?
like the way he dances to the way he thinks to what he says to the way he conducts himself. Like he's an amazing person to be around, you know. And I'm
This is
lucky
the
to be
Flower
around.
Throwing
the homie.
podcast.
Okay, Luke, I got a question for you,
Man,
bro.
I have
Oh no,
one
hold on.
question for Jenny.
It's true.
Sorry.
Sorry about that, bro.
But I feel like you might have answered that question, but tell me if you already did, because I feel like a lot of dancers from your gen and up feel like there are no more opportunities in Montreal. Yeah. On my side, I felt like me going out of the city and all of that and seeing what everyone's been doing in New York or in France and all of that. I feel like Montreal is very like an untapped territory. Like there's opportunity to do whatever it is that you want to do. So is there a reason why your gen is more gearing towards leaving the city and trying to go elsewhere for opportunities rather than trying to build and construct something here?
I think.
That's not a call out, yo, to the generation.
Shut
Sorry.
I mean,
Unless it gets us more views, and then it is.
Fuck you guys.
You have real big Abe energy on this podcast. I
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Okay. Shout out to Abe.
I mean, I can't speak for like other people in my generation or people that have been like coming up at the same time that I have. But personally, I've always been inclined to leave. Like I've always, as soon as I turned 18, I was like, I want to go to New York. I want to go to Paris. I want to it's just been an impulse for me to always want to go elsewhere. But I think in terms of people leaving and like wanting to do things abroad, I think it's like, because Montreal, you're right in a sense that there is a lot of opportunity and there is a lot of kind of untapped, and there's a lot of room to build things, but building infrastructures is not the same thing as like being a performing artist.
Of course.
So I think maybe the people who leave are people who want to be performing artists, you know, or who aren't really interested in doing like, in reality, you know, even Saint Luc's, like what they've done, even if Axel is like doing a lot, there is a side of you that has to be like entrepreneurial.
True indeed.
You know, to do that. And it's not everybody who has that, and it's not everybody who has that interest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think for the people who are entrepreneurial, then maybe Montreal is a good place to be, because, you know, it's like a good standard of living. Like it's not, I mean,
super expensive.
yeah, it compared to a lot of other places, but in terms of performance opportunity and like to learn, like the way I saw it, and I don't know what's gonna happen now. But for me, it was always like, oh yeah, let me go get all this experience abroad and be part of structures that we don't have and understand how they work, to then be able to come back and do something, as opposed to me figuring it out now at like 27, 20, and in my, like in hindsight, I see now, like, Axel did it, so I could have done it, but me thinking, oh, I'm too young, I want to be out there and experience other things.
But it's also like if you take like a sports thing, it's like, you can be an NBA coach at 25.
Yeah.
But a lot of players want to gain the experience and use that to become...
Be an NBA coach at 25?
I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. But it's like...
Let's do it. I'm into it.
But you know what I mean? Like, you could...
He's on the roll. Let him go. He's on the roll.
Fuck myself.
I appreciate you got, like, this is the podcaster knowledge. He's just like, yeah, just let him say stuff. If it sounds good.
I want one too.
It's for the content, man. No, but I mean, like, all right, maybe not 25. But, like, you can be young and be in a position of, like, a coach or, like, a team owner or whatever, but a lot of people maybe want to go through doing the thing to get you to then use that as like a later thing, because maybe they're like, I don't know if this is kind of what you're saying, but maybe it's like, I can always be a business owner when I'm older, but like I can't always be a player, or I can't always be a performer. So it's like, all right, let me do that while I'm young.
Take advantage of your youth. Yeah.
Take advantage of that, get the knowledge and get the experience, and then when I'm older, build something. Because it's like, I mean, even with me with the capsule and stuff, it's like I can't be as much of a professional dancer or whatever as while I'm building something, you know what I mean? So I had to make that sacrifice. But like, I think also this is kind of what you were saying, but like, that's really something I love doing. It's like, my tendency is like, you might have your thing over there, but I want to build my own thing. I don't want to be like, even if you're going to pay me double what I can make doing my own thing, I want to do my own thing still. You know what I mean? Whereas I think some people are like, that's a horrible feeling for them. It's like, what do you mean I have to build from nothing? Like, this guy over there is going to offer to pay me and I can just focus on my art and what I love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
is it kind of that?
Yeah. And I think also it's just like personal, like what, because there's so many different things in like the art sector that you can be interested in. True. Some people are straight interested in just being performers. Some people want to be choreographers and create work. Some people want to do like artistic direction and outside eye on other people's work. Some people want to have their own company and like build the infrastructure and create the art. Some people, so it's like, there's all these different ways of thinking and approaching it. But I think if what you want to do is like gain experience within an industry, whether as a performer, I think there's a lot of other places in the world that have a lot bigger and like, more varied opportunities than what you get in Montreal, because it's like also Quebec and Montreal is a bit isolated within the rest of Canada. Like it's its own kind of cultural center that
almost its own country.
Almost man, we fucking lost 50 guys, 51% to 49%.
Is that really true?
We were almost there.
Yeah.
I think we had that with Scotland in the UK.
Yeah, you guys were the only two places that did 2 referendums and lost twice. Or maybe...
So the people in Quebec don't want to be their own country?
Some want, some do. But now the debate is kind of dead, honestly. But I'm trying to bring it back on the podcast. Guys, toutes mes souverainistes
on the podcast from London, he's trying to get the feeling back for Quebecers.
Quebec independence.
All the maybe this is why the vote didn't work, because you marketed in a terrible way.
Yeah, I'm the attaché for whatever. Shut myself up. Who was talking?
Jenny was speaking.
Sorry, Jen.
No, I like this intermission. But yeah, Quebec is a bit isolated within the rest of Canada. So it's like even if people leave Montreal to go to Toronto because it maybe has more access and connections to other parts of Canada and the States. But anyways, so I can't speak for everybody, but that's the reason for me. And I suspect that the reason for people leaving might be along the lines of they wanted to do this other thing.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
You had a question for J-Style.
No.
For Luke.
Yeah. No, I had a question for Luke. Like, okay, Luke.
Yes.
When you look at dancing,
12, 15.
What do you mean 12?
Red M&Ms.
Oh my God.
Batman.
What?
You want?
Did you say yes? 12, 15.
You kind of answered it with Batman. I'm gonna be honest. No. Luke.
Yo.
When you look at dancing, this is a complete random. It's a switch of subject.
What does God mean to you?
When you look at dancing, what do you want? What do you need to see for you to like it? You know that?
Oh, this is because of our other conversation.
What were we saying earlier? Are we getting into that?
So
I
what
want
was
y'all
your
to get
question
into
is
it.
what?
I'm
Your
curious.
no, not that one. We
Come
can get
on,
into that
man.
one after the pod.
Off mic.
Yeah.
Damn.
He doesn't like some people I like. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Let's
That's
just
a
put
good
it
way of
there.
saying it.
It's all good. I mean, it's subjective.
Yeah. It's. I guess.
What do I need to for me to enjoy it personally, or for because this is what we were saying earlier. I think there's a difference between as much as art can be, but like objective level in a dance style, or there's my personal preference. So there's people that I like their dance, but I don't think they're great. And then there's other people that I think they're great, but I don't like their dance. Or I don't like the style of the dance, let's say.
Like you can say, I recognize you have a high level, but I fucking hate it.
Yeah. Like you're very like
Damn.
like,
There's a lot of people like that. I feel that way about.
yeah. But this is what I mean. It's like you're good. Like I would if I was judging a battle, I would vote for you. You know what I mean? Or if I was hiring for a job, I would do that. But in terms of, am I going to sit and watch your videos? No. And then there's other people that I'm like, okay, you're not winning any battles anytime soon. And I'm not having you on a job that I'm getting paid to choreograph. But like, I love watching your videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. What sets your soul on fire? Who sets your soul on fire?
That's a real good question. In the battle world?
Apart from me.
Okay.
Aww.
Okay. In
That's
the battle
cute.
world or what?
Yeah.
He was like, not here.
What? Not here.
Me.
Okay.
And if there was a cut in the recording,
Yeah, keep
Welcome
all of
back.
this.
welcome back.
Keep all of
I was
Nah.
asking. I was asking Luke.
Are you coughing on the mic?
We'll keep that bit in.
Fuck yeah, fuck that shit, man. It's the podcast. You can do what you want.
To the
Real
next
big ape
guest on
energy.
the podcast, ask Luke if he disinfected all this equipment, because fam,
We didn't tell you, but we're all COVID deniers here. Doesn't exist. No, but what I was
What's the
saying,
damn question?
Luke, who sets your soul on fire in the battle scene?
Oh, that's
And
a
I'm
real...
gonna know. Don't tell me
So-
some new guy's fucking name I don't know about.
Yeah. I really like MT Pop.
nice.
That's nice.
Really like MT Pop. Like, I love his style. There's a lot of dancers that now, because I'm getting old and nostalgic, that they set my soul on fire in the way that they dance because of how it made me feel at a certain time.
I think
Because
that's so important.
someone like Jadawi is like one of the people that inspired me the most in my dance. And like, even to like know him on a personal level now, or like to be able to talk to him, is like my 18-year-old self is like, whoa,
I can see
you know,
that.
like it's such a nerd. But like, well, I think like, say watching him dance, it's like the way that even watching old videos of him, because of my position in the, let's say even in the UK scene or even in the world scene, like I'm not good, but in terms of I've been around for a long time and I'm used to everything. I've been at a lot of big battles. I've seen a lot of amazing people in my life.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people that make me feel now how I felt at 17, 18 watching some of these people like Jadawi or people like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Totally.
So it's like I don't get that same like
Excitement.
you're just almost like absolute like wonder of like, what am I, this is magic, what am I even seeing? Because now I'm a bit seasoned, and even if I'm seeing someone who's like the best in the world live, I'm recognizing like, oh, this is amazing, but in my head I'm like, okay, cool, but you know, you got a way to go and this other guy can beat you, and you know, yeah, but your business mind is not there. Like my brain is a bit more used to this thing, whereas when I would see someone like Jadawi, especially like the first time I see people like that live, even Salah, but there wasn't that same connection. Like when I saw Jadawi's dance, I was like, oh my God, I could do that for the rest of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like watching that live, I was just like, I'm not thinking about anything else but this one round in front of me. And this is like watching a magician. Like I'm like that sense of like wonder. And I really rarely get that these days.
But I think it's such an interesting point, because I think like your perspective of like who's good, who's not depends like it depends a whole lot on you, on your disposition, on how you can welcome like someone else's art. Sometimes you're not available, and something could be really great, but you're just not into it.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe that's why too, in a sense, you know, there's always not a disconnect, but between like the older generation and the younger, who's seeing people like, let's say if you're 19 now and you're looking at someone in their late 20s or early 30s with like wonder and just, oh my God, this is so amazing, and that person is magical. And then you have an older generation who's like, yeah, what they're doing is okay, but like, you know, so I think maybe
it's hard to connect between the two.
Of just the perspective that you have now might be like one of an older person who's seen more and just is like, oh yeah, you're good, but you know, oh, you're missing that, or you don't have that, and blah blah blah. And instead of seeing everything the person doesn't have or is missing, maybe when you're younger you see just what the person has,
and everything's new. Like you haven't
Yeah.
seen that for 10, 15. Like so
Yeah.
even I'm trying to think of like even someone like MT Pop who does give me that a little bit of that taste of like whoa, like I
he's so
didn't see
good.
that come in. Like that's so creative. But even that, it's like anything that he does, I've seen poppers do for 15 years. You know what I mean? Like, and not in a way of like, okay, he does it differently to a different song, but it's like, okay.
I think he's gonna call you out still.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, but it's like, I mean, as in he's not levitating. Like he's doing tuts. I've seen, it's new tuts, it's new glides, it's new waves, but it's like, I've seen waves for 15 years. Like when I first started dancing, this is like the first year I've ever seen anyone do a wave. So when it's a good one, it's like, holy shit, you know? So it's like, it's not that it's not, you know, he's not, someone like MT Pop is doing unique stuff, and a lot of the dancers are doing unique new stuff.
No.
Cool. That's great.
Drama. Nope.
But it's just like the genre that he's doing. I've seen popping as a style for 15 years. It's like anything that you see for that long, you're going to lose a bit of the love, or not the love, the magic.
You get
Yeah.
used to it. It's like c'est comme la corne sur tes mains. Là. It's like a what do you call it when like skin gets hard on your fingers when you do chin ups?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted
Perfect
to say.
example. Keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
It's like the same thing that happens on your feet.
Okay. Yeah, we understand. What's the connection?
Ooh, my bad.
Your
Keep going.
skin isn't as sensitive, and
Yeah,
by
you're not
skin,
sensitive, and
he
you
means
only
emotion.
discover something once.
You have
Yeah.
emotional
That's true.
callus.
Yeah. All right. I like that.
Okay.
Emotional callous.
Callous.
But I think also what I think it was what you said about the disconnect between the younger and the older. I think we're doing what I'm doing in terms of the podcast and in terms of like wanting to create infrastructure for at least the UK scene, if not bigger one day. I've had to make a conscious effort to not have that, to not let my calluses
Emotional.
yeah, because what is very easy for the internal me to do, and I think I see a lot of people who are maybe my generation who maybe don't dance as much. They look at the younger kids, or they're like, meh, yeah, it's cool. Like kind of how my instinct is like, meh, it's cool. Like, because they've seen all this and they've seen, you know, also when you're looking at an 18-year-old, it's like, you're not looking at the finished product. Like you're looking at a very beginner version. So I think for someone like who's been around longer, you have to actually train yourself to look at the potential and look at the magic that could come and is coming, as opposed to just looking at it and going, but you don't make me feel like Salah used to make me feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really hard to get that.
And I think
It has to be an effort. You're right.
and I think I know a lot of people that maybe aren't as much in the scene anymore or whatever, who kind of they're not passionate about anyone new now. Whereas I feel like I am, and I'm really excited about this stuff, but because I've trained myself to be like, okay, look objectively. Don't think about how you feel instinctively. Look at like how this person could grow or what this means for the scene. Like when someone new comes into the popping scene, I'm excited because I'm like, oh, we don't have that now. Like, and you're bringing something new, and I could see the potential if more people come in. Like, for example, I talk about Silk. There's a guy in the dance scene who's a very good contemporary dancer and really, really highly trained, and he works professionally as a contemporary dancer. When he came into the popping scene and really started to like, there was a period where he was kind of just doing basic popping. He went away and did his training and came back, and he started bringing his like contemporary training, his flexibility into his popping. And for me, everything changed from then, and he got really good. And I think I could, you know, I've seen other dancers that do the type of stuff that he's doing, and I could be like, meh. But the reason it made me so excited, because I was like, you're bringing something into our scene that nobody else at this point in time is bringing into our scene. And I was like, I'm excited for the diversity that this is bringing and what this is going to mean for future events and future battles. And when you see that paired up with someone who does really strict boogaloo, like this is going to, you know, so I'm looking for things. I mean, it's this thing with life, isn't it? It's like if you look for the positives and you look for the excitement, you'll find it. If you look for reasons to hate everything,
you'll find
it. So it's like,
well.
now that I've like switched my brain of like, okay, look for what excites you and look for, and it's part of the platform, but it also changes the way I think. It's easier to have that. It's a different type of magic, but I think it's almost like a proud dad. Before I was like a kid being like, oh, my dad's the greatest. And now I'm like the dad that's like, you guys are going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like I have this like I want to kind of pat them all on their head and go, keep going, guys. You know what I mean? Like,
there's so much love on this podcast. It's too much. We got to bring it down.
all right, cut someone out. Who
No.
you hate?
Who I hate?
Yep. Quick, first thing that
Damn,
comes
no,
to your
don't
head.
spread hate.
No, I'm just-
Don't spread hate.
I didn't expect him to answer. Seriously.
No, he was about
He
to.
was really looking.
He was
He was
about.
going
He
through
was
his
thinking
list.
about like he
I
had
could do it.
probably 10 names.
We believe
He had
you.
probably 10 names in his head. He was trying to sort through those
Eeny,
names.
meeny, miny.
No. Okay, I need 3 more names. Give me your top 5. So you gave me Jidawi. You gave
In
me
terms of
MT
influence
Pop.
on me.
No. Set your soul on fire.
Oh, Set My Soul on Fire. Okay,
Set
yeah,
my
Jidawi.
soul on fire.
Yeah, we could
That's
throw
nice,
in
J-Style.
MT Pop in there. We could throw in maybe someone like Alex the Cage is up there for me for sure.
That guy's round versus Joseph Go. In,
He's fire.
oh my God!
Alex
The
the
one where
Cage
he
is
just like he
amazing.
was just like
Oh yeah,
he was just insane. That guy's insane, dude.
Yeah,
I love. Oh yeah.
he's really dope.
So Alex the Cage,
Yeah, he's probably in my top. Who else do I like even?
Feist. We talked about
Yeah,
Feist.
Feist is like a. I love Feist like I love like a uncle or something. You know, you know what I mean? It's
And
like
tell me more.
no, but it's like for example, my people in life is like Salas, Jidawi,
Celeste.
Salas, Jidawi, Marvin, and Feist. Like I would credit them with like me as a freestyler is like those 4 are like the people that I watch, and I between the 4 of them I was like, oh yeah, I want to do this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they're not my only influences, and they're not the people that like all of them set my soul on fire in that way, but they were my original 4. Like they were the Mount Rushmore of like I want to do this shit.
It's funny because like in the names that you named, there's a lot of things about geometry in there.
Yes, yeah,
Like the angles and like a lot with the arms also.
yeah. I like cleanliness and like intricacy and
Yeah.
stuff. That's why I like your dance.
Oh,
To be
thank
honest,
you.
that was like the first thing I was like, oh damn, he's got that like, and I feel like a lot of North American dancers don't prioritize that. Like I feel like it's more about like which I love, like the feeling and the rawness and the not that you don't have that, but like I feel like you have no,
Or
but I feel
rawness.
like you when I watched you, I mean I haven't seen loads of your dance, but you're really like almost European with your cleanliness and your
I'm
intricacy. You know what I mean? Like, and you have that the style from the North American dance, which is I was like, that's such a fucking sick mix. But
I gotta
I
go
don't-
back to Europe now.
yeah, but I think that I mean
Yeah,
anyway.
dude, you should, man. You should fucking go tear their asses up.
I gotta go back. I gotta go back.
I
Give
feel
me
like I was
time.
gonna say something, but I forgot.
Because your Mount Rushmore, that's
Mount
the
Rushmore
4.
the
Oh,
top
yeah, I had
5.
another one. So Jidawi, who did I say?
Salah.
Salah.
Your own top
No,
4.
No, okay. MT
the-
Pop.
yeah.
Jidawi.
Feist,
Feist.
Alex, and
Alex
Joker.
the Cage. Who's Joker?
Joker from UDAT.
Oh yes.
You know
Yeah.
him? He's definitely maybe even more than someone like Feist, because Feist is more of I love his dance and I love what he, without knowing me as a person, what he did for my dance. But Joker is someone who I'm like, every time I watch his shit, I've spoken about him before on the podcast, but every time I watch his shit, I'm like, this guy is like, I don't know if you have this, but people who are like, they're so good, but in literally exactly how you want to dance. Like someone like
Storyboard P.
Right. So like for me, Storyboard P is amazing, but I don't want to dance like him. Like I just want to watch him.
Yep. Yeah,
Whereas Joker is like he's like, I said this before, but he's like the evolved Pokemon of me. You know what I mean? It's like I watch him and he's like he does everything I want to do but better before I do it. I'm like this
Charizard.
motherfucker. Every time he
Fucking
puts out a
shit.
video, I'm like I'm like looking into the future of like, oh yeah, this is me in 10 years, but he's fucking younger than me. You know what I mean? But you said that's like you with Storyboard P?
Yeah, every time I watch Storyboard P dance, I'm like, damn.
Like same artistic tendencies, this type of stuff?
The choices he makes. Why don't you want to dance like Storyboard P? I don't get it.
Me?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's just like
You don't have toes?
I don't have toes, man.
Is that why?
Um,
My
No,
guy got
it's
toes,
just
yo.
feet. Like
You know if you don't have toes, you can't stand up.
If you don't have toes, you can't
Yeah.
stand up?
yeah.
Like it
Balance.
destroys
You
your
have no
equilibrium?
balance.
Yeah.
So your
Correct.
balance is your toes, your eyes, and your ears.
Hmm.
I was with a guy. I was chilling. This is story time. I was chilling with a
Let's go.
guy who's like lost the use of his toes, and he's like, if I get in a room where there's no light, I fall on the ground.
and you
It's
find that
not
funny?
Because my sister's laughing. It's not funny his condition. Jeff, I fucking love you, bro. It's not about that.
Would
It's
he
ju-
find it funny?
Who cares? He's not gonna listen to this. But anyways, did you guys know that
He actually falls on the ground?
he falls on the ground if
But
there's
just
no
if there's-
light?
That means he can't see, and if there's no I mean, you don't need
Yeah, like if you
sound, but
can't
it's
if you
like-
can't find your bearings in the room, you don't know which is.
Yeah,
And what if you turn on the music really
I don't know.
Does he stumble
You know,
or
it's
it's
not-
like a
it's not
straight
your
He
like-
falls. It's like I can't keep my balance. We were talking about this
Okay,
like
but
a couple
he
weeks ago.
stumbles. It's not like a
He just
right
drops.
away.
Maybe he falls like a tree. It's dark. I don't know.
But
Damn.
how did he lose the use of his toes?
It was actually a
The
tragic
use of
accident.
his toes, or he lost his toes.
He lost the use of his toes. Like he's basically like standing on his heels all the time. And he was doing a show, a theater show where he was dancing. Why the fuck are you laughing? It's a tragic accident.
I'm not laughing.
He was doing a thing and he fell. He was hanging and he fell and he lost it. It's terrible.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's bad.
I feel bad
That
about
is
laughing about everything now.
Damn, that's
But laugh it's a
Coping mechanism.
it's a coping mechanism. You can
Shout
laugh
out
when
to
you're
Jeff.
nervous. You can laugh when you're sad. You
True
can
say. True
This
say,
is a
true
good
say.
excuse. Well done.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to that homie, yo.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Jeff, bro. We love
Yeah,
you.
and he put his name out. Wow.
Yeah. We should yeah. So anyway, no, but I think you said why don't I want to dance like
Yeah.
Storyboard P? I think it's I think for me, I don't know if you guys feel the same. I feel like dance is like you're expressing like certain aspects of like your personality or things that
Yeah.
I think if you have a really good seasoned dancer, it doesn't happen straight away, but after a while, you can really see someone's personality through their dance, and not in the kind of artsy fartsy way of like, oh, you can see the soul of the dancer or whatever. But it's like by the choices you make, I can see what you like. So if like I know you know Marvel from UK, Popper?
Yeah.
He's very exactly. And if you look at his
Iron
dance,
Man.
it's very structured, very detail oriented, very precise. There's not really a lot of like rawness to it, not in a negative way, but it's just very processed and structured. And he's like that as a person. He's very like, he likes things the way it is. He's very like methodical in the way he thinks. He's very organized, and it's like you can really see that in his dance. And I feel like, let's say someone like Kieran is not, he's like not the opposite of Marvel, but he's not so clean and not so processed in his movement. It's very raw, and even if it doesn't look super pretty, all of his stuff,
The
like,
feeling's there.
and he prioritizes that. He prioritizes, oh, but it felt good. It felt like what I wanted to do in the
Yeah.
moment. And I think, again, it's like with Kieran, it's like he's going to hang out with someone just because they make him feel good, not because he's thought through what's the pros and cons of being friends with this person. Like, or
Marvel does that?
no, but it's like,
Marvel, you think about the pros and cons of hanging out with people?
but
What a
I wouldn't be
freak.
surprised.
Woo!
But you
Just
know what I mean?
kidding,
Or
I
like,
love
let's
you,
say if
Marvel.
I'm like, oh, let's go to this restaurant. It's like Nick's gonna I don't know, I'm imagining, but maybe he's gonna like look up a review and see their stars and see what meals they serve. And if it's Kieran might like just look at a picture of the door and be like, ah, it looks kind of, yeah, let's go, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
you
they,
want to go?
they
Like,
have vegan food. Okay, I'll go.
yeah, he's gonna go with his gut feeling, and Nick is gonna go with the logical, like, this makes sense for me to do this, and I don't want to, waste my own time or whatever. And I I'm speaking
What's
on,
the optimal decision?
yeah, and I think you see that in their dance, and this is just my kind of perception of that. But
So what do you see in Storyboard P?
I don't know his dance well enough to guess, but it seems like a bit more of the Kieran spectrum, a very raw, like way of because also I feel like I don't know, again, maybe there's like other styles that I'm not so familiar with, but he's a bit more outside of the box, right? Like he's not so like a popper or a
Traditional,
hip
no,
hop
nah,
dancer, like
no.
how you would expect.
Nah, really.
And I think to do that, you've really got to have a feeling first approach because you're like, even to get the validation, it must be 10. It's hard in popping to get the validation if you're a slightly outside of the box popper.
slightly.
And it's like, imagine to go, oh, I don't belong to any style. I'm just going with how I feel and how I like to move. It's like, you've really got to care mostly about the feelings,
feeling.
right?
Yep.
Which,
Yeah.
that's not how I am in life. I'm more of the Nick spectrum. You know what I mean? I'm more of the like, oh, I'm going to consider all and that's why I like all the intricacy and like you might have a billion aspects to your dance, but the first thing I noticed was the cleanliness and the I'm like, oh yeah, that's the stuff I like. Because it's what
That's what you gravitate to.
and what I like in life. I like, even when we're choosing fucking rugs for the house, like I don't want the messy patterns. I want the intricate
Structured.
line and yeah. You know what I mean?
Do
So
you
did you
trip
do
balls
a-
on like the videos of like 50 people doing tuts together? Does that make you go crazy?
Yeah, I mean, like, especially when it first started, how do you say it? The geometry
Géométrie variable.
Yes.
variable. It's hard to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Geometry
But like when they
variable.
first came out, and like one of my friends is in it, who I knew from ages ago. So I was already like, I saw their stuff really early on because I knew him. And yeah, I love their stuff. But now I think it's a bit. One other aspect that I really like is I like to be surprised. And did we say this about humor? I saw we were talking about like I've got to be caught off guard to laugh. Like if I see the joke come in, it doesn't get me. I have to, and the more off guard I'm caught, the funnier I find something. And it's the same with dance. Like you got to catch me off guard to really make me love the shit. And I think the problem with their stuff, and it's not their fault, is that so many people have copied it that it's like, yeah, like, and this is what like big credit to Sadek, because he keeps pushing it. Like he does one thing, like he did that orchestra. You seen that?
Yeah.
The orchestra
When you
thing.
turn your head, speaking to the mic.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Damn, I got told.
That's right.
When he
Caught
did the
you
like
slipping.
orchestra thing, it's like he does it, and then like 50 other videos pop up online, and then he does something new, and 50, and it's kind of like he's great at pushing the.
Like leading the wave.
Evolving his style.
Yeah, and then but it's just annoying on a broader scale because I'm like, yeah, I see so much of his style that I don't get caught off because it doesn't set my soul on fire. You know what I mean? Because of how diluted it's become, which is a shame for them because they really had something.
Do you have problem liking stuff when it gets too popular?
Only for that reason. I'm really the opposite of like I'm not one of those people that's like a hipster, like, oh yeah, no, I used to like them before they got big. Like Drake's one of my favorite artists, and he's like the most popular fucking artist, right?
I love him.
But it's like I still need to have that feeling of like being caught off guard, and it's something fresh and something new, which I feel like I get from Drake. Like
How far back do you go with Drake though?
Pretty far back, like when he was still doing like a lot of the features and singing on the hooks for like Lil Wayne and stuff. I liked him at the beginning, but I didn't love him until he started like rapping, like until he started doing the like 5 a.m. and you know that shit.
Ooh, yeah,
all the
9 a.m. in Dallas. To
yeah,
me,
yeah. When
still
he was
one of my favorite
checking
Drake
his
tracks.
watch and checking his location, that's when there's trouble. But yeah, I mean, yes, I'm not like, oh, if something's too popular, I go away from it. But if it's so popular that I see it everywhere, it doesn't. That would happen to me with a song. So like I would love a song, but if it gets played every day, everywhere I'm going, everyone's playing the same song, I'm like, okay, I'm bored of it now.
Yeah.
And it's the same like that with dance moves, with style. If everybody's kind of dancing the same, I'm like, it's like, you're great, but you know, I've seen this version, I've seen this. That's why, I mean, why Green is so great to still be Green, because there's so many Green clones. For him to still be fresh is like, okay, you know what I mean? Because it's like, I feel like that with I mean, there's loads of dancers you could name, but there's when the Twins, the Twins clones made me a bit bored of the Twins because I see their style so much that I'm like, yeah, this again.
That video though from Just Debout when they were like when they first came out with their like really strong dual energy, bro, those battles were like holy shit.
And the jeans the other way.
Yeah,
the video, the World of Dance video.
Yeah,
that's like yeah, they really like. That's how you know they've really set something, because they had like a style that people copied, a way of moving.
Oh my god, dude, they
were a brand already. Like it's like no, that was crazy.
That's not easy to do.
And they're like, crazy. You know, yeah, those twins are like, those guys are incredible. And they judge here. You did because there's a big like TV show out here in Quebec, Révolution. You did it, Jay, right?
Yeah, I did the first season.
And the twins are judge on the show.
Judges on the show, yeah.
You watch the show?
Not religiously.
Like, what do you think about the show?
I feel like it's doing good things for dance in Montreal. More than in Montreal, in Quebec. I feel like it's getting people that do not necessarily consume dance to talk about dance. Like my aunt will talk to me about dance, and I'm like, wait, you never spoke to me about dance before, and now you're talking to me about street dance and things like that. So I feel like in that sense it's doing a lot of good for dance, because now you could bank on that, you know, on the fact that everyone is. It's like building
a bigger audience for dance.
Yeah.
What's the concept of the show, just for people that don't know?
It's is it like, so
no.
So you think
because they don't bring you out of your style. You always do what you want to do. You always choose your song. You always got like artistic, but you do like battles. I think there's battles with people. So you do your number, and another person does their number, and then the judges pick who wins.
But it's not necessarily solo. It could be like, it could be a solo, but it could be duet. It could be a group.
You could be by yourself. It's like you could do the style that you want to do. The first round is the round of auditions. And then after that, they filter through that. After the auditions is the battle round, where they'll team you up with somebody else, so you could be by yourself facing a whole group, and that's the battle. After that, I think you're teamed up with another group, and y'all have to build something together. And after that is the finals. So you're doing your final number. Yeah, and every round is like a filtering process.
So it's
Yeah.
like a competition,
yeah.
but more in the like they judge the number that you do,
Mhm.
like the piece.
Okay.
And there's always this moment, like they have a camera that goes like 360,
A bunch of GoPros around the stage.
and they just go like moment révolution, and then there's a person taking a dramatic pause, and then you see like
The
yeah.
360
I've seen that
360
done
thing.
somewhere else. I think I forget where.
It's like when
And-
they have the camera in the party that goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the twins are judging by themselves or with
Yeah,
someone
the
else?
twins are judging with like two other people.
With two
So
other
there's a
judges.
crazy like there's a crazy ballroom guy that just like he
Jean-Marc Généreux.
yeah,
Shout out.
he just fucking screams he's crazy. And there's this girl Bouchard, Lydia Bouchard.
Lydia Bouchard, I think so.
She's like a choreographer. She did things for Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, amazing choreographer. Amazing
So yeah,
dancer.
bro. How'd you like your experience on the show, Jay?
It was very interesting. Very interesting. I was early 20s at the time.
Oh, I thought this was recent.
No.
Oh, so the show's been on for a while.
Yeah, it's been
Oh.
on
Yeah.
for it's been on for a minute. I was in my early 20s at the time. Didn't really want to socialize with people like that, and that show taught me a bit more about the ins and out of show business, of like how it is behind cameras, how it is when the cameras are off, like who you're interacting with, like being by yourself is not necessarily giving. Being able to just go to people, speak with people. I mean, those are skills that will help you just in like day-to-day life as well, you know? But that taught me that. Being on stage was also nerve-wracking, but I'm glad I did it, because I was like, yo, if there's a dance opportunity like that comes to Montreal, I have to do it. Before Revolution came out, I was like, yo, if there's like another dance film that's shot in Montreal or something about dance, I want to do it. And to me, it was just about fulfilling that goal. Yeah.
It's fucking dope, bro.
And how is it with the twins judging? Have they been judging from the whole time?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh damn, that's a
So
long
do
time.
they live here or
Yeah,
something?
what's it?
I don't know. They come here,
fly
get their
in,
money.
judge
Yeah.
and go.
and get the fuck out?
Because
Yeah, I think so.
the show, mind you, the show is from August to like December.
Oh, so it's just a few months, or
Yeah.
maybe they come and just do certain bits and then leave.
Yeah, because they're
Interesting.
always in France in September for for Battle Bad. Shout out Ludo, Battle Bad.
Yeah.
Can.
Bad.
But
Yeah.
how are their judging? How do you feel about their judging? Do you feel a certain way? Not even.
I feel like
No,
you
I
feel a
feel-
certain way.
For myself, I feel like it was fair. I feel like what they said is valid. It's fair. I've taken a lot of what they had told me at the time, and
What is it they told you?
about letting my whole persona just live, and like vraiment, like I was about to speak French, sorry, because it said m'enjailler sur scène, like just having fun on stage and like letting my goofy side also take place at times, you know, which I was trying to set to the side. I often compartmentalize things, you know. I'm like, if I'm gonna do popping, that's only popping. If I'm gonna do bruck up, it's only bruck up, you know. When I myself as an artist, I'm like a combination of all those things, of everything that I do. So it was really about letting all those different sides of myself shine, you know. And then they also gave me comments on my battle, which made total sense too. And yeah.
And how
Damn,
do you feel about that?
You were
Jeremy?
looking for some drama and you didn't find it.
Yeah, you really
Listen,
were.
I wasn't looking
little
for any
drama
drama.
stirrer?
No, I was just asking what he thought.
How do you feel about
yeah,
the
how do you
twins?
I don't
feel-
even watch that show, honestly.
okay.
I don't
Is it
watch
'cause
the
they're
show.
judging?
That's fair. That's your
No,
prerogative.
honestly, I respect the shit out of them. Like, yo, you dance for Beyonce. You're in the Men in
Yeah,
Black
for real.
movies, even though it's terrible.
Yeah, that
You
was
know?
a terrible movie. I have to say though, that Beyonce concert that they were at. I don't know if they've probably done more, but the
Coachella?
no, the she did a tour. I forget which fucking album. The one with the partition, please. What's that song?
Partition?
Yeah. What's
said the word.
Yeah, true.
It's like minimum partition.
It's like the only word I said. What's that? What album is it?
Beyonce.
That album. Anyway, she did
That's
a tour.
Beyonce. That's the self-titled album. That's Beyonce.
Oh, it's called Beyonce. Got you.
Isn't it?
yeah, because it was before Lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the album before
that's
that.
the album that came. That's the surprise album.
Yes, she came to London and performed that, and I hadn't listened to the album,
Mm-hmm.
which I definitely recommend if you're going to go to a concert. Don't listen to the album before.
For real?
And hear it live the first time.
I don't know. I can't do that.
I know.
I like singing the lyrics at the.
That's true.
at the
Also,
show.
it depends who it is. I think for me, like that was a great way to experience the album because I went home and like had that album on repeat because that experience was like locked in my mind as the first time having heard it.
That's
I
fair.
like that.
But yeah, so that was when I gained a big respect for the Twins because I had seen them obviously in the battle scene loads, and I was like, like I'm in battle mode, if you know what I mean. So I'm thinking what I like or who I would think would beat them or how I would dance against them or whatever, while getting my ass kicked. But I think when I saw the Beyonce concert, I was just in enjoy the entertainment mode, and she like left the stage to do a costume change. And they was just the two of them on stage for maybe like a 5-minute segment. And they like, nobody was like, bring back Beyonce. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, oh, you're killing it.
They owned the
They
stage.
owned it. They really, and like I've been on not that big stages, but I've been on big stages and I know how much that shit can swallow you up, especially if you don't have the power of like, oh yeah, I'm Beyonce. Like they're here to see me. But like watching them, I saw their thing and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. You like, if you can do that in Wembley Stadium, like you have my respect because that shit is not easy as a battler. Like you're not even like a, you know what I mean? Like they spend their whole lives battling and then they can do that on a Beyonce stage. I was like,
Yeah, these guys are fucking dope. I love their artistry. I love what they do. A lot of people in the more show business side, like that aren't dancers, they hate, like a lot of people told me in Quebec, like they really don't like them. They find them like arrogant and like
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
like misogynist
who's
and
your
shit.
source?
Misogynistic for real?
Yeah.
That I didn't
Like in
hear.
their comments, but
Drop your sources.
I'm not
Who's
doing
the
that.
rat?
Who's the rat? I'm gonna catch that rat.
But I feel like we got to give them props for what
Yeah.
they're doing
Yeah,
for
they're
street
fucking-
dancers.
they're
yo.
legends,
like,
man.
They're like,
Yeah, for sure.
They're celebrities. Like
Yeah.
they'll walk down the street and people will want to take pictures with them. So it's like, yo, y'all are setting the bar pretty high for street dancers. Yo.
And how many opportunities have inadvertently come from them being big,
you
for
know,
us? I have two things I want to ask you about before we wrap it up. The first one is the T-shirt that I'm on my way to purchase tomorrow, which we didn't get a chance to do.
Let's talk
At
about that.
Theo's, I mean, y'all in London. my bad.
But talk to me about the brand. Like, I don't know. I really don't know anything.
Ooh, so the brand Kank, it came from.
It's your brand, like?
It's myself, Monster Pop, and a friend of mine called Andy.
Okay.
Yeah, and woo, should I give the whole history or I'm gonna try to sum it
The
up?
condensed
pretty fast?
history.
Yeah. Okay, so Kank is a term that we use in Montreal to add emphasis to what the person is doing. So when someone is dancing, like Kank, Kank, that pop is hard. You know, it's like Kank, Kank,
It's
Kank.
like the sound of the pop.
You know, it's just a sound that we make to emphasize what the person is doing. And from there, I took the term and decided to use it and made a short film that I titled it Kank. I made some merch with it. From that merch, and I saw how like successful it was, during the pandemic, I wanted to do a second drop of merch, and then I started talking to people around me, and then that idea grew into making a brand.
So it came from the film, actually. That the merchandise was supposed to be merchandise for the film?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
okay,
Well,
sick.
I mean, we had a first like initial merchandise for the film.
Yeah.
But then we tried doing a second
Launch. Or like
launch. So
collection.
we redesigned the whole thing. We didn't make a new film. We just redesigned the T-shirt, and then instead of just putting it out for the film, we put it out as a brand.
Ah, sick. And the store that you've got it in that we're going to tomorrow, it's just a streetwear store, or what's the like? How do you get it in stores from?
It's a vintage store, so
Okay.
it's a thrift store.
Yeah.
Called Theos. Shout out Theos Montreal, Club Theos. You know.
What's the address, bro?
1138 or 1134 Montreal East.
There you go.
I'm not
Boom.
sure though, but people in London, if y'all fly
Google
out all the way here to buy the T-shirt,
Come to Jack of all trades, buy a T-shirt.
Kank,
Kank.
you know, and we
We
do
might have
shipping
to
too.
we might have to talk about Jack of all trades as well. That might be the third thing.
Hey, we do shipping as well, but we don't ship internationally. My bad. So you gotta be in
You
Canada.
like gave the hope and took it away.
You gotta be in Canada.
Yeah, we don't see the BBC all the time. It's like, you guys have
What?
your stuff, we have ours.
The BBC and Kank. No, but this is something why I wanted to get one because we spoke about this before, but I really have a thing about I was reading Bobby Hundreds from the Hundreds.
Bobby Hundreds.
The guy that made the Hundreds
Okay,
company.
okay.
company.
Yeah.
Clothing company. He had something in his book. I was reading his book and it was saying that back in the day, like streetwear used to be really about like a collector's mentality. Like if you had a Stussy Tokyo top, it's like you got that from Tokyo. Like you didn't just get it online.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the like exclusivity or the barrier to entry was that you went and did the legwork, you know. And I think what he was saying is that nowadays with streetwear, it's like the barrier of entry has become how much you can afford because everything's available. So the only thing to exclude people in a way is that, oh, you're poorer than me, not like I made more effort, which making more effort seems a bit more of a fair. Anyone could do that, anyone could go to the shop, you know what I mean? But it's just like I chose to make that effort, whereas now it's a bit like, oh well, I have the Supreme drop that cost me $1,000 for these kicks that I'm gonna go wear in the mud. But I feel like what I like about that is like I like that you don't do international shipping, and I like that because I'm here I'm gonna get one, and like that's something that I'm gonna enjoy having in my like collection. Not that I have like a collection, but you know, my wardrobe.
That's dope,
is because it's like, yeah, this is the shit that no one else is gonna have, and the only reason they're gonna have it is because they went to Montreal or because they know one of you guys. So for me, that's like what makes it more special, makes it like a something that I was like, I haven't even looked at all the items. I just want one. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I'll see which one I want when I get there, but it's not because there's a specific one that I want. It's just like I care about having something that show, and I'm connected with, especially with you and Monster. But like, yeah, it's just something that is like, oh, that represents Montreal, my time in Montreal, my connection with those people. And I really don't have a lot of. There's not a lot of shit that I have like that. Like,
and
I had
your
a Stussy
girlfriend is from Montreal.
You all know. No, but I mean like clothes wise. Like I had a Stussy top hoodie that I bought at the Stussy flagship store in LA, and I fucking lost it.
My days.
But but it's like that means more to me than ordering it online. Because I walked into the store in LA.
Experience linked to it.
Yes, which is what I love about clothes. It's like buying something that has an experience.
That's nice.
Jeez. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna buy
Hold on,
one
can
tomorrow.
I say something about your clothes?
Go ahead.
They're the perfect clothes for dancing, man. Because they're large, so you know you don't want something too tight on you when you're dancing hip hop. So they're large. The sleeves are like they go far. You know, it's nice to pop in, and it doesn't stink. And because that's important. Because sometimes you buy a T-shirt, you use it twice, and then it smells like
doesn't like hold the smell.
fucking death. Yeah. You know, under the arms.
He said fucking death.
So it doesn't smell, and the fabric feels really nice. I think it's the perfect shirt for street dancing.
Man, we're a good
Thank
marketing
you very
team.
much.
Who, you and I?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Okay.
What else should we sell?
I appreciate y'all.
this
drugs?
Cow. Okay.
You said drugs?
What?
Oh, y'all want to get
I didn't
into the
say that.
business?
Yeah, we want to get in your cocaine business.
Can you hook us up?
Can you hook us up?
Yeah,
I'ma
back and
plug
forth to New York for dance.
Yeah, you do New York, I'll do the Plateau. He'll do London.
I'm done.
The other thing I wanted to, we'll definitely talk about Jack of all trades, just because ATN needs some attention.
But we can talk about that.
Done. Did you say that? Say that.
Huh?
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
'cause
we'll save
y'all
that
talk
for
We
tomorrow.
don't. Yeah, we don't have to. Well, unless Jixtal wants to.
No,
sell
but actually,
Jack
I
of all
forgot
trades.
that I forgot about tomorrow. Yeah.
That was gonna be my question.
It's
I'm
always
like,
good to
aren't
have
you-
someone else talk about it, because when you talk about your own shit, you're just like, yeah, I do this and that. But
Yeah,
when
then
someone
you're
else
gonna be
bigs
there,
you up,
though.
sorry.
You're gonna be
Yeah,
there.
that's what
though.
you're there for.
Okay.
Okay, then it leads me to my last topic that I wanted to ask you about is the pods, because I've watched some of them. So tell me so I know obviously my reasoning for going from being a dancer into like building this stuff, but what's for people that don't know, maybe tell them a bit about the platform and what the pods and the show was, and then why you wanted to do that.
So, Interludes, the platform, the way it started, at first it was just me in the studio filming myself, filming dance videos of myself. And then Monster, because I was practicing with Monster at the time, and he was like, yo, you should like put it out under a certain structure. And it was a Wednesday, so I called it Wednesday Interludes. I had my homie do a little flyer that same day. He sent it to me, put it out, boom, Wednesday Interludes. Then I started putting out regularly every Wednesdays. And then from there, my friend Pet, who's the DOP, videographer of the whole thing, wanted to come through and shoot some stuff because he was getting into the business of like filming shit and camera and all that. So from there, we started shooting together. We started having guests also come through and like dance with me, and he would film. Then we turned that into like a season thing where like we film with, let's say, 10 dancers, and then release a season of those 10 dancers.
This is the thing you said you were in one of those.
Yep.
Okay.
And then from there, we also noticed that during those shoots, we would always have nice conversations. And we then wanted to bring an aspect where dancers could also speak their mind and speak their truth and give a window into their personalities, So Pat came through with the idea of Take a Minute, which was like a 1 minute window of the dancer telling us more about themselves. And shooting that, to get that 1 minute, we did a whole 1 hour interview with the dancer. So that was the 3rd season of interludes with Kosi, Pax, IC, Valmont, and 7 Star. Whoo, my fault. You know? And after that, pandemic hit, and we were like, yo, what do we want to do? Everything is gearing towards online. And the idea of taking that 1 minute capsule and giving that to the public and making it a whole segment came about that way too, if that made sense. Yeah,
definitely. So it was kind of like the build up from I really like that organic growth of like, it's from the sessions where you're having good conversation and it just built into that.
It was just an organic addition every time, and then it became its own thing. You know, from the take a minute, it turned into the whole podcast. And we got help from mentors from my neighborhood, from Little Burgundy, people from Great Thing Studios, who opened their doors to us, who welcomed us in. They started shooting the podcast. They gave us their location. Then Maison Le Poème opened their doors to us. That's where we shot the last season of the podcast. That's with
the big leather couches.
Yeah.
That location looks cool.
Yeah, yo. Shout out Maison Le Poème, yo. Much love.
How'd you get that hookup?
How did I get hookup from Maison Le Poème?
Yeah.
It's talking with people. Benji, I mean, I don't want to put people business out there like that, but we got people in common, so just talking.
Friends.
Yeah, we got friends in common,
Okay.
so just talking and putting the idea out. And one day he was like, yo, if ever you're down to shoot a pod at the spot, just let me know. And then we were like, oh, for real? Yeah.
Sick.
Dope.
And so where are you at now? Because you said you're taking a little break, and maybe can you talk much about what you want to do with it, or
So
you don't have to if you want to keep that.
I'll let him know. So the last pod we did was with Dr. Rico. Shout out Dr. Rico. Dope episode. Now we're also on Spotify, so that's cool too. After all those seasons and those different episodes that we did, we noticed that the potency or the vibration of the podcast, or the energy of what we're doing, resides in doing the actual thing. Once it's online, it's like that's like the last step, you know. And now we want to open our doors to people, for them to see and to witness and to feel what's happening in the room when you're having the dance session, when the conversation is happening, for them to see everything that's like off camera, you know. Because I feel like oftentimes the content that's off camera is even better than the one that's on camera, you know. But you're not always filming, so sometimes you don't get that, you know. But yeah, so now we're trying to find a way to open our doors to let people in and witness the whole structure.
That's sick. And that's really like two things I'm really passionate about. Is like is like the long form content, and like artists talking, I think is really important, because we see the output, but we don't see all the conversation. Like you said, you saw the session, but you don't see all the conversations you have at the session, which is what makes us, not to be too sappy, but like as artists, as older artists, it's kind of what makes us who we are. It's not just the dance, it's traveling with people, having conversations, learning from people, like the people we look up to or the advice we get. It's like it turns us into who we are as people, you know. And it's like to be able to share that with people is really dope. And to go from like the long form thing into also looking into like live content in a world that's so like make everything short, make everything only online, blah blah blah. Like it's really nice, especially because it's not that there's no demand for it. Like we do love longer form content. It's really necessary, really helpful. People enjoy it. I watch like 4 full length podcasts a week minimum. And also like live stuff. Like I love seeing that live stuff still works and people still want that and people still want to do it, you know. So yeah, I think that's dope. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Are you still, if you're doing the stuff in person, are you still planning to record it?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Record it and put it online as well. But yeah,
That'd be really cool.
and for the capsule, what's next? Where you trying to go?
Good question.
Why are you sighing so much when?
Because it's hard work, man. And every time someone asks me, it reminds me of that. But
You
It's
think
a pain in the ass a little bit.
no, not even a pain in the ass. It's just scary and hard work. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm just reminded of all the ways I could fail.
Respect that. Thanks for
Think
opening
about
up.
all
That's
the
nice
ways
of
you
you,
could
man.
win instead.
Yeah, I know. This is my issue. I need to stop thinking about that. But no, I think I podcast wise, I really want to keep developing and pushing the way we're doing this. I was just watching something today that was saying like it's like within the first year, you're still just finding your voice as a podcaster. So
That's so true.
we've been doing a year and a half. Like I still want to push it, figure out the format, make it better for the viewers, make it really accessible and for people to, you know, really enjoy the format. Sometimes we go a bit left and just talk shit for a while, and maybe we need to tighten up the offering a little bit. But I know people like that, the shit talk as well. But yeah, so I think I want to really refine the product of the podcast, and I also want to look into like doing more live stuff. We've done a few, and I really love it, and I think there's something in there. But I also want to expand. I want to make it like a whole platform in general. So I don't want it to be just a podcast and just an online thing. I want it to be a podcast. I want it to be like we run events, we do classes maybe one day. I would love to have my own space that's like a fucking podcast studio and a dance studio. You know what I mean? Like kind of like this type of space, where it's like a community space, and basically all the things that I want to do with the podcast can be expanded into real life things, if you know what I mean. Like I want to offer people a chance to talk more and to have longer form conversations, which is what we do here. But then I can do that in real life. You know what I mean? We could have events where maybe the whole event is that we just sit around and talk about stuff, or this type of thing, or like shine a light on. I like to shine a light on certain dancers, and it's like we could do that in real life as well with events. And I just want to expand it into like more of a support organization as opposed to just like one specific thing. I want it to be like a platform, like a media platform that does all this. I'd love to like
branches.
Different branches. I'd love to, even within the podcast, I'd love to like enable other people to run podcasts on our platform, like
a network type thing.
And do different shows, and kind of like once I'm doing all the errors and failing at all the stuff, so that I can maybe teach someone eventually how to run their own show or podcast or whatever. So a lot of different things. The main thing is to turn it into a business, so that I can do this, because it's like we spoke about this on the pod before, but it's like it's all well and good giving back to people, but it's like we always use, I don't know where we got it from, but the thing of the oxygen mask, of like on the plane. Like you can't help other people until you put your oxygen mask on first.
That's a very common thing.
It's a very common thing.
People
as in like to use it as a life but it's like I think it's a really good way of looking at life, and it's like it's not because you want to gain for yourself that it means you don't want to help people. It's just easier to help people when you've sorted yourself out first.
I think that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like once I like the capsule is already, I think people seem to like it. We're doing cool stuff. We're doing stuff for the scene. Imagine if I could dedicate all my time to this, because it's making me money. Now I have to do this and make a living. If I can make this all make me a living, then I can spend my full time on helping other people and doing this shit. And I think it will, by helping myself, I'm putting my own oxygen mask on, and then I'm going to be able to put everyone else's on.
Yeah, but also just to say, I don't think that there's something wrong with like even, obviously you're doing this because you want to build an infrastructure and help other people, but it's also like, for you to say, I don't necessarily want to take all the money from it, because obviously you want to reinvest. But even in saying like, I
didn't say that.
No, but like of just kind of saying like, I want this to make me wealthy, and then I want other people to be able to be wealthy from doing things like this, is also like.
I think that's the beauty of it having different strands, because it's like even with the like my photography and video stuff, like I really want to push that under the capsule now, and like not just be like, because what I've been doing now is like my photography and video work is my day-to-day, like that's how I make my money, and then the capsule is what I do to give back. But if I can put it under, and I can have a package where you can hire me under the capsule and you can pay me my damn fee that I deserve, but then I can also do a lot of free shit for people under the capsule, and it's like it's all one organization, and there's certain aspects of it where I'm getting paid, there's other aspects of it where I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart, and maybe some things pay for other things, you know what I mean? And it's like, hopefully at the end of the day, everyone.
Or you could have Luke be the company, the entity, the company, and the capsule be the NPO, and then the NPO hires Luke.
This is what Hakeem was kind of saying in that
Yeah,
meeting,
but
right?
that's a structure that a lot of like production
Yo.
houses or
Well, yeah. Anyway, if you said what's next, literally what we're talking about is what's next for me. Is like I have to figure all this stuff out
Yo.
and like have these like I don't know. I'm just saying what I'd like to do, but in terms of business structures, in terms of what the potential of the capsule is, that's my plan for this year is
Stay
to actually
tuned.
figure it out.
I feel like that'd be something dope to document and to also
Yeah, that's true.
have conversations about how to turn an artistic project into a viable thing.
I
Into
mean,
something that could like
I do this every
feed.
week,
Mhm.
so there's no way I'm not going to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I think as we're going over this year or over the next 2 years, it's like I'm probably gonna like I'm not really one of like I need to keep things private that I'm doing. Like
Mhm.
you know the whole thing about like move in silence or whatever that fucking shit is that people share on there.
move and make a lot of fucking
Yeah,
noise while you
move
do
in
it.
and then they like share it on their story that they're moving in silence. It's like
Oh shit, no, I move in silence, but,
No,
I
but-
don't share my stories that I move in silence.
yeah. No, but I think it's like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I don't
There
like
is something wrong with it. You guys that do that, stop doing that. Stop fucking doing it. It's just like, shut up. If you're moving in silence, I don't want to hear you.
that's okay. That's true. But I mean, like, I'm not one that I have to keep my plans private necessarily. But yeah, because I think it's like I'm okay with failing. Like I'm okay with it scares me and I don't like it, but I'm okay with it happening. So I'm like I'm gonna tell you guys week by week everything that I fucked up on, everything that I got right, and hopefully like people are gonna learn from it. And you know what I mean? And it's like maybe I'm gonna learn. Maybe I'm gonna like even just now I'm gonna say something to you and you're like, oh yeah, you could do it this way, and I'm like, oh shit. If I had moved in silence, you wouldn't have told me that.
True say.
You know what I mean? So it's like I'm learning everything like as you go. I don't think you need to. For me, I don't need to be in the world as someone that's got everything figured out.
Mhm.
I'm always a work in progress, so that's fine for me to show to people.
I love it.
But yeah, I think we should probably wrap.
All right.
But yeah, unless there's any final words from anyone. But yo, shout out to Montreal.
Hey,
I love being here.
Shout out
to
to
be honest.
London. Shout out
This
to
is
London.
my third time in Montreal, and I love being here from what I've seen. I love the people I've met. Every time I'm traveling and I meet someone that's from Montreal, like I really get on with them, and I think you guys have dope artists. You're really nice people. I fucking love this city.
Thank you.
I would probably, if I had to move to another country, I'd probably live here.
Come here, yo.
Before I'd live
Leave.
somewhere, maybe New York or Montreal is like the two cities that I could see myself in besides London. And
Let's
I love
come back.
London.
Jenny, you could come back.
I could, but
Jenny, you want to come back?
no.
Fuck
Wow.
I was
Yo.
actually thinking while I was driving today. I was like, I don't think I'd move back here.
Piece of filth.
Damn.
What is this?
All right.
It's a
well,
beautiful city, yo.
I love you, Montreal. Thank you for being kind to me every time I'm here. Especially
Yeah.
the Lou family. We love you.
You know
Shout out to
that's
Dre
right.
Star for
What's
coming through. I
up?
appreciate your time
Hey, appreciate
hugely.
you for inviting me, man. That's love.
Yeah, if you don't know about this guy, go and check his videos.
Google him.
Google him or
Gang.
YouTube him. Maybe.
I don't think
Yeah.
you'll find much on Google.
YouTube.
I'm not that
Because
person.
we're not 63. But I love you. I'm sorry. And shout out to Sunlux for hosting us.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Really, really dope studio. If
The
you
plants are really nice.
plant, they're really
Except
invested
this one
in the
needs
plants.
watering. Just you guys check your
guy.
plants. This one's burning right here a little bit.
And you're breaking it.
Fucking
Yeah, if you're in Montreal, come through, check it out. Go to
Espace Sans Luxe?
the
Ooh, my
Theo's.
bad.
Kank.
Oh, Theo's. Club
Theo's.
Theo's in on Mont-Royal, Le Plateau.
Shout out Theo's.
You know?
Google that.
And
Don't
if you
Google,
come
yeah,
through-
that you
through-
can Google.
If
Put
you
it
come
in
through to
YouTube.
Montreal, just hit us up. Hit me up. I'll answer. I'll answer. I won't start naming other people to hit up and then they won't answer.
What's your
I'll
phone number,
answer.
bro? What's your phone number?
My phone
And
number?
Yeah.
514-911-22536.
You reckon that's real?
Je l'ai pas retenu. It was too long. I didn't hold it.
And interludes interludes spelled normally.
There's
N.
no I. So interludes.
Oh, underscore N.
Interludes.
Check that out. And
Appreciate
you
it.
want to give your personal Instagram? in
Oh,
case?
my
Or if-
personal
If
Instagram.
that's what you want to send people.
So true to self, true.2. 2WO.self.
That's such a complicated
I
name, dude.
recommend checking out both of those platforms. Like, I follow you on both, and I love
you.
watching the stuff.
Thank
that
you.
post.
Thank you.
So yeah, catch you guys next week. And every week following, subscribe and like all our shit and follow along the capsule journey. And thank you for doing so far. And ATN,
Oh,
kiss me on the face.
whoa,
No, don't do
whoa,
it. Don't
whoa.
do it. Don't do it.
May
No,
I,
but do
may,
it.
may I give one last
Oh, please
social
do. Yes.
handle? Yes, just Kank as well.
Oh.
IG at Say It Loudly with dots in between each word.
Say it loudly.
Hey,
Cool.
thank you.
I got an IG handle, ATN LOU. Go follow that.
Who's
Hey,
that?
It's me.
go.
Oh,
It's amazing content.
yeah. What
The
are you?
comedy's right. Ask Jen.
Yeah, the memes are on
The
point.
memes be
Daily
memeing?
memes.
You
daily
check my memes, bro?
I do.
Are they
You post
good?
nothing
They're
but
good.
memes.
You,
on your story.
yours are funny, but your Preach been going crazy. When Preach goes
Listen,
crazy,
gotta respect the man.
Hey,
Preach
can
goes
we?
crazy.
Do you reckon Preach will watch this? Can we get Abba and Preach on the fucking thing? I watch their stuff. I really like them.
Let's
Shout
go.
out to Abba and Preach.
Come through London. Come on the capsule. I love you.
Okay.
And Jenny Lou sometimes posts memes.
Yeah, her
That's
email
true.
is jenny.lou. Do I say?
What
my
do we email
email,
her
you know.
for?
What do you? Well, anything.
Anything? Just anything, like McDonald's?
Yeah, just say like, hey, what's up? You ever send like short emails? Maybe we should cut. You ever send like short emails like, hey, how you doing?
What do you mean? To who?
I plan on starting to do that. But
Only if I'm trying to be professional.
So strange.
If I'm trying to professionally network, like let's say some this dance group there, I got their manager's email at a shoot, and like I just wanted to be nice, so I just said, "Hey, nice to meet you. Like, lovely to see you today," kind of thing.
I
Just like
think
a
that's
short
good.
like that.
Okay,
But not like
yeah, but
I
you
wouldn't
didn't
send it
open a conversation to like have
No,
a
not so
convo
much.
thread or something.
That's
that's
kinda
what I
weird.
was talking about. But
Why would you
whatever.
do that?
Just to engage.
By email?
Just cut the
Damn.
podcast. I'm saying nonsense, dude.
Okay,
just
have
don't
a
want
good
it to
week,
stop.
That's
everyone.
why I'm keeping it.
Have a good week.
You want to keep
Save
it?
Have a
more
good week.
nonsense.
Have a good week.
Honestly, because there's a guy I know
Jenny
who doesn't.
Jenny's the queen of
I have to
cutting the podcast.
There's a guy who I
Don't pee, you're on camera.
don't pee right there, Jen. Oh my
Jen,
God! Come
not on
on.
the floor.
What the shit? Because there's this guy I know who doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't have Facebook, and I just want to see him again. I don't know how to do it. You guys, I guess I'll just send him an email.
Oh, yeah, well,
Apparently,
then that makes sense.
Kanye West had a moment where he would interact with people only by email. He didn't have no phone number.
I would want to do that. I hate when people text me.
I think when you
For
get to
real?
a
For
certain
like
point,
work stuff, not
Oh, okay.
friends. Yeah.
but Kanye's so big, dude. What the fuck is happening with him?
Yo, apparently he disappeared.
I
Like
know.
people can't find
yeah, I
him for
saw
the
that.
like.
Should we cut?
I don't know.
We can talk about this after.